Lights out, we're underway. Motorsport Republica podcast.
Boys, we're back.
We are back.
Welcome.
Last round of MotoGP. It's a bit sad, isn't it? What a year! What a year it's been.
How quick has it gone?
It's flown by, man.
We were only in Chris Vermeulen's place this time last year, staying up on 4 hours sleep watching their F1 and the MotoGP. I was talking about it with Dad last night, and how quick it's gone.
I know.
It's gone
I think
crazy,
like Superbike weekend, like how quick it's gone since then. I mean, just incredible, and probably one of the best seasons of MotoGP in recent years, I would say.
100%.
Yeah, by far.
And a big takeaway of this year is realistically you know, we were promised Kazakhstan, and we again didn't get Kazakhstan.
Stock standard, but what do you expect?
Yes. Jorge Martin, congratulations. I didn't think you could do it. Well done on Ducati letting it happen. And the first independent team since Rossi 2001.
First in the MotoGP era.
Yeah, just incredible. So kudos to him. I think it was fitting that he won the championship. They've had such a battle the last few years.
Yeah.
Especially to come back from what he went through.
Yeah.
In Portimao, man.
Portimao crash. Yep.
That was wild.
Yeah, there was sort of a few stories coming around that, like, you know, had a bit of a rough childhood coming up, and his parents had to sell a few things to get to around the global financial crisis in 08, had to sell a few things to get him to that Red Bull Rookies Cup or whatever he came through, and
yeah, that's right. Red Bull Rookies Cup.
To win the championship, and you could see this family in the box. I mean, it looked like his grandma, and she was shaking.
Yeah, they all was amazing.
Cheeseburger, Davide Cheeseburger.
I think
Martin.
He had a few cheese platters in the background. Cheeseburger Javier.
He was when they saw each other at the celebration, the hug, and it was like, oh, it's so good. So awesome to see a new champion.
Yeah,
Well.
it's always great to see it. And,
very fitting.
You know, I was watching it. Thinking they both deserve it. Like, that's the hard thing. I feel like this year I really did both deserve it, but you know, it's awesome to see how they do it.
It's interesting to see the stats, and we'll get into that shortly because the stats are crazy this year. Wins and crashes and poles and all sorts of stuff.
It's actually really interesting stats in all three categories.
Yeah, yes.
It's been a funny year.
Before we get into that, James, Motor Heaven.
Yeah, shout out to our main major sponsor, motorheaven.com.au. The guys down there are awesome. One of the best websites, the best motorcycle accessory website in all of the land. They're in New Zealand as well. You can buy New Zealand for our Kiwi listeners.
Fucking chops.
Bro. So all our Kiwi friends over there, check out motorheaven.com.au, and everything's dispatched either that day or the next day. Parts finder, and everything's on sale there, which is really
free
cool.
delivery over $100, which is great.
And they're doing Black Friday sales as we speak until the end of the month, so check them out.
Grab a bargain.
Nice. Guys, as always, thank you for your support on Patreon. We are on there. Please become a member. You get exclusive content, discounted.
Dad's lifting his hand up.
Yeah, we've got Dave Superbike Shaw in the background today. So, but yeah, jump on board. We've got a really big ep coming up, and it's a sort of a decade. We're sort of doing a decade theme this time, so very excited about that. So Patreon, jump on, subscribe. Really appreciate all the support.
Yep. Nice. You took my one.
Yes, of course.
So subscribe.
No, subscribe to the Patreon. Daniel wants you to subscribe to YouTube. Two different things, so don't let me tell you everything.
And everything else are Instagram, Facebook, and our new one, X.
Yeah,
Follow us on X.
I like it, James X. Daniel, I really like it. I'm just like there, just telling my thoughts.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, you get live thoughts of what we're thinking, which is probably a good and a bad thing.
Retweet us.
Well,
Re-X us.
We'll go,
whatever
it is. I don't even know.
We'll go to Vegas Sunday afternoon. Tommy's going to be a couple of bevs deep, so you might get some controversial. Yeah, a couple of sherbets.
Good. I'll tell everyone how shit Lando Norris is.
Standard.
But no, it's awesome. And then check out our website as well. We've got our merch on there. Do we have any more Make Honda Great Again hats? Or we sold out?
Yeah, a few left. So we had a gentleman buy 10 of them, so stocks are limited remaining, but obviously we'll be taking pre-orders once we sell out. James, also, I just want to say to everyone at home, MotoGP is finished for the year.
Yes.
We've got a lot of messages as well about what we're going to do over the summer break. We have all weeks covered. Okay, we've got special editions, we've got Christmas editions, we've got special guests coming on, so no need to message us anymore. We will have you covered over the Christmas.
We're still going to be doing our weekly show. We did our weekly show last year.
We did it through it.
And we'll just, we've got it all covered.
Yeah.
We're very professional.
We're very professional. And then there's like 16 hours of testing coming up next week anyway, or next couple of days.
We can talk about testing liveries.
Testing liveries. We might
shivering
even
up my spine.
we might even throw it back to our throw it back segment that we used to do in
true.
the off season as well. So
We'll we'll have it all
now?
covered. We'll have it all covered.
And hopefully, if we organise this one, we've got a mega guest coming up, which will be biggest by far. So we'll see what we can do. That might be a bit of a travel.
That's all right. We'll do it. Daniel, get some results going. I want to talk about this race.
All right. Sprint race results. Pecco Bagnaia, Enea Bastianini, Jorge Martin, top 3. Aleix Espargaro, Alex Marquez, Franco Morbidelli, Marc Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Brad Binder, and Fabio Quartararo. Main race, Pecco Bagnaia, Marc Marquez, Jorge Martin, Alex Marquez, Aleix Espargaro, Brad Binder, Enea Bastianini, Franco Morbidelli, Marco Bezzecchi, and Pedro Acosta round out the top 10.
I think it goes without saying, but Jorge Martin is definitely our performance of the week.
By far.
Did what he had to do, kept his nose clean just about through both races, got a great launch off that second row, and he just did it well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Comfortable.
He was really
Just easy.
comfortable.
Comfortable, that main race. It was really, realistically, if it was any other weekend, it'd be like such a boring race, but because you just were waiting for something to happen or you didn't know
waiting
what
for
was
a
going to
mistake
happen from someone. And then did you guys see it said Pecco crashed like 5 laps in?
Yeah.
I was like, no. And then-
It was a bit of a funny scenario. I keep hearing for some reason like gravel and I thought Martin down, and then it crossed to another shot. And I'm like, he's not there. And I was like, I full had like a heat flush. I was like, no, like full shock mode. And then his little man came through. I was like, oh geez, because like at that point of the season, I don't think it would have been fair. It would have been fair on him to crash out in some stupid little incident like that.
No,
So,
it was the same coming out of the first corner into the chicane.
Yeah.
It looked like there was dust getting kicked up. I was like, oh, Pecco's down, or and I'm like, it's just obviously flares or something like that. But
he did everything he could do. Bagnaia went 1-1.
credit to him.
Yeah, which he was always, I reckon, always going to do.
Yeah,
But Jesus, like was it 11 wins this year?
11 wins.
11 wins,
Sunday wins.
and then didn't
Not
even
a
win the
champion.
title. It's wild.
So
10 points.
It's some crazy stats, and I'll just start off now because so 11 wins for Bagnaia, 3 for Martin
in the main race.
which you wouldn't have thought of.
No.
11 poles for Bagnaia, 9 for Martin. But this is the shocking stat for me: 7 sprint wins for Bagnaia, 7 sprint
for
wins
Martin.
Yeah.
for Martin. For me, I'm like Martin's won 12 and Bags has won 5. Because I'm thinking, how is it so close?
It's
but it
the
just
five-
shows you.
the 5-0 score.
Just shows you the DNFs and how
That sprint crash Bagnaia did in Barcelona of all places.
that was the
you know?
difference. That was the
That's
difference. That's the difference in the
5
end.
no
so.
points finishes in a sprint.
Yeah, and then it also put Martin up a spot after crashing as well. So like it would have been probably
Yeah, that's right.
more like 15 points that difference. So
Because Sunday
Yeah.
races, it was only 3-2. Bagnaia 3
Yeah.
out, Martin 2.
yeah,
And the only time that Martin didn't finish on the podium were the 2 times he crashed out when
Yes.
Pecco had won.
as they said, Martin took advantage when Bagnaia crashed, and that was a big difference of the year.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
And
you know,
his
he got the
damage
seconds.
limitation.
He got the seconds. Like I guess last year he was trying to get that win, and then he would throw it down the road. Where
That's
he
right.
just like, all right, I'll just take the second. I'll take the podium.
yeah.
Like I think he's got 16 or 15 second places or something crazy over the year. So
Yeah.
Aaron Canet-esque.
Aaron Canet-esque.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly that damage limitation.
Yeah.
Just making sure you're there. That's all you got to do, bring it home. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick reminder, we are proudly supported by the great team down at Moto Heaven. They are absolutely unbelievable to deal with. And if I were you guys, I'd definitely head over to their website.
Yes, you never pay full recommended retail price at Moto Heaven, and free delivery for any order over $100.
100%. And they've got the best, most usable website in the whole motorcycle industry. Dare I say the world. They got parts finders. You can chuck in any bike you want. If it's a old KX250 or an R1, you can find anything you want. Helmets, they got everything. Head to motoheaven.com.au where you will get everything that you need. That's a guarantee.
Do it.
I know, it's wild.
But yeah, it was a race with not much incident. I think only Mir crashed. That was about his standard. That was just waiting to happen.
What's new?
We had a few messages that was so funny, like, the the oven timer must have gone off. He's crashed or something like.
Legit.
Oh man,
His gravel is his home.
But yeah, I think Yamaha are looking better. I think Honda are in a hole, and it's going to be really interesting tomorrow night seeing seeing the testing.
Well, you talk about Honda. I made a note, and there might have even been a couple hot takes on it. But like, if you're going to put anyone in that factory bike, it's Zarco on that Honda. He's the only
100%.
person doing anything on that motorcycle.
yeah.
Like he's putting it in the Q2s. Crazy that Taka went fastest in FP1.
Man,
which is the weird
LCR,
thing. Yeah,
LCR
yeah.
are outperforming the factory team like most weekends.
But I don't get how Zarco can get onto this bike and be quicker than Mir when Mir's had 2 years already on
Mir's
that
cooked,
motorcycle.
man.
I think mentally he's done, isn't he?
I'd be surprised if we see him halfway through next year.
I can't see him lasting another year.
I can't. No
and he's
way.
got a 2-year contract still.
Not at all. Like he'll have to pull the pin.
Honda's got to do something seriously.
But it can't be. It's got to be him as well, though.
Yeah, they got to pull their finger out because Zarco's doing everything he can on that bike, and like I think he got 5th in one of the FP2s as well. Like, there's something there.
Yeah, he's had a really good. I mean, a good enough second half of the season. Zarco, he's been.
Yeah, this flyaway, he's showed a lot more than what the others have by far.
But yeah, going back to Bagnaia for a second. He just the last 3 or 4 races just dominated. Like he knew he had to get. Win and did he do the double 3 races in a row?
No, because he had the off in
Thailand. Okay.
Yeah,
So he did the double last 2 rounds. He did everything he possibly could, but
that's a lot of pressure to win those Sunday races.
100%. Yeah,
What was it, 4 in a row that he won, didn't he?
Yeah, it might be
4
actually.
in a row
yeah,
on the Sunday.
yeah.
But Martin did the best thing. Let Marquez through. Let them battle. Have that gap. And then he got lucky as well because I think Bastianini, I said to you before the broadcast, that Bastianini had a clean rate through. I think he would have roughed up Martin a little bit more. But as you said, he had 5 places to play.
He would have
with 6
yielded
places.
100%.
Yeah, he would have just let him through, I think, in a
He might have tried
safest
to
way.
back him up because he did that a little bit, I think, in the spring.
Yeah, you
was it?
called that. Yeah,
he was
he did.
backing him up. So
Just for a lap, yeah.
and I think Superbike Shaw over there said he's probably getting the bonus from Ducati to do that.
Yeah, we always have that
Yeah,
thought.
for sure.
You know, so
100% he would.
Mortadella did absolutely bloody nothing.
Yeah.
He got up there and just went straight back. But he was battling with Bastianini. Those two are mates, yeah. They were really chucking it up the inside in that main race.
I don't know if they're mates as such.
Yeah, they're part of the VR, the academy.
Bastianini.
Nah.
Oh,
yeah,
of course he's not.
Bastianini's not.
Yeah. Just the La Familia, that's it. But yeah, going back as well, the onboard shots of Marquez and Bagnaia, you could see the big difference between the 24 and
25
23.
horsepower.
So 25 less horsepower, and you saw him just shoot off the
Out of the
line,
corner.
and you saw those 23 bikes in the slipstream of the 24. They couldn't pass.
Nah.
No.
Where vice versa, it was sailing past. So
Yeah.
big difference there.
I think there's something to do with the ride height as well. Drops us slightly
Yeah.
lower as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
on the
I think
newer
it's
bike.
that hooks up a lot
Hooks
more.
up better. And you can see it's really evident.
Yeah,
know?
massively. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm
Yeah.
happy for Martin.
Absolutely.
Don't know about his weird mask celebration. I like shooting the ice.
All for it, man. It was a great celebration.
Yeah, you guys are like, I'm right on the fence for it. I thought it was a cool celebration, but yeah, maybe you talked me into the mask being a bit low T.
No,
but
the mask is ultimate low T. Shooting the ice is cool,
Yeah.
and he changed the suit for no reason because it looked exactly the same. Yeah.
They-
You've got to,
yeah, they
you've got to
missed
go with gold suit.
They missed the trick with the suit.
no, you know what
Hard.
they missed the trick with him coming out on Arnold Schwarzenegger's shoulders. That would have been cool.
I said that to my mate. I was like, imagine Arnie walks out right now. Like,
Gets in the chopper.
exactly what I said too.
He lands in the chopper or something. Oh
If he
my
does,
god.
that's what I'd rock. him.
Maybe Libby immediately taking over a bit more money, so
Yeah.
like they can afford it in a few years. It'd be good.
Yo, like the Dorna mask. The Dorna mask is like a $2 shop Terminator mask. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's from the reject shop.
Yeah, that was a legit reject shop mask. It was terrible. It wasn't even sitting on his face properly.
I'm all for it. I like the celebration. I thought it was all good. The only gripe I had, 2 gripes. They fucked the suit. They could have put Martinator with a 1.
Yeah,
Like-
they could at least change just shoulder pads. They were both red. Like it
Yeah,
just-
Alpine starts, but no.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know.
Not like the Italian. Oh, they are Italian, but not like Dainese. You know?
yeah.
Let me ask you this
What was,
question.
what was your second gripe?
The Insta 360 on the helmet fucked
yeah,
it, ruined
yeah,
it.
yeah. So
Such
true.
a good looking lid.
Yeah.
They knocked it out of the park with the graphic and the gold.
Bloody
Yeah.
sponsorships,
But
I reckon.
massive like
Yeah,
camera
I know.
on the top, which is
Gross.
silly.
Let me ask you this question to both of you. What's been the best celebration in history or the MotoGP era? Is there one that stands out for you guys?
The first one that comes to mind, and I think it's actually the first of these type of celebrations, was. Are you talking World Championship celebration?
Look, World Championship, MotoGP celebration.
Would be Marquez's game over celebration, because that was the first of the interactive one where he pressed the button. He was playing the video game, pressed the button, and then the gold helmet came out. I think Shoei were one of the first, as you were saying, to do the gold helmet, and that was really cool. I thought that was really, really, really well done. But it's just so hard. Like, I love it. I love watching it, and I like making fun of it as well. Like, it's always all good.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that I can think of, because Rossi did his celebrations, but it was just standard kind of T-shirt. You know,
Seven Dwarves and all that. And the bowling.
Back in the day, it was just running the flag, and that's how it is. But
I like Lorenzo.
Hey guys, also I think that we were talking about it last night.
Talking.
That the best thing about would be the T-shirts that were being made for Bagnaia.
Yeah.
They would be absolute collector's items if you could get your hands on one of those. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy to
Definitely.
think. Well, like,
it's a great point.
What about when we went to Chris's? He had his gold suit that he was meant to wear. Like,
I reckon Martin's got his he had his World Championship suit preps last year.
And a factory Ducati one.
Yeah, that's right. He would I bet you he has that. I bet you got given that. What about you? What about you, Daniel? What's your favourite World Championship celebration?
I like Lorenzo, the 5, all the different suits.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one. God, he's good cheeseburger.
Yeah,
he's a goat.
you got to give him his
Don't
props.
appreciate it until it's gone. That's the thing.
That's like Valencia for us.
That was a really good one.
That was a really good one.
Bro, Valencia is crazy. Like, I really was like missing Valencia.
I know, same.
On that last corner.
No,
like,
you know what? I wasn't at all.
Wow.
The
Not
racing,
at all.
I reckon, would have been better because it's such a good circuit to back the pack up.
It's nerve-wracking. It's more nerve-wracking.
It's inviting as well.
Yeah.
That first turn, a lot can go wrong.
100% a lot can go wrong.
Man, they've got the...
That's a good one. What about you?
I asked you guys a question. I don't have anything that comes out in mind. I really like when they change the front fairing of the bike or something like that when they've won the World Championship.
You know, it's an honourable mention. Pecco's Moto 2 when they changed the whole fairing.
That's what I really like when they do that. Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's cool.
Augusto Fernandez changed into a whole gold suit a couple of years ago.
Well, how's Iagura running the gold?
That was amazing.
David Alonso had a bit of gold, I think, in his bike as well.
And the helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's been running number one, like an outlined number one
He had it
since he
in
won.
Phillip Islands.
Yeah, since he won the championship. And it's on his boots and that.
Yeah, it looks good.
So cool.
But the Guru's one looked sick. Helmets.
Aleix crying at the start of the race.
And
Taka. Low T nomination, James.
Yeah, that's low T of the week,
Low T of
unfortunately.
the week. But all jokes aside, amazing career, Aleix Spargo. Thanks for the memes. Thanks for the 1 lap early memories and stuff.
He's a fucking idiot.
Come on, bro.
Nah, seriously. Like,
We're neutrals. We have to be neutrals on here.
No, we don't have to be neutrals on here. We don't. You're in your last race.
He's a bit of a chutch, you reckon?
He's a massive chutch. Take the podium. The guy's got 5 places to play with. He doesn't have to finish on the podium to win the championship.
Carrying on a bit too much after the race as well.
Oh,
But
I liked how he grabbed the little RS125 thing he
That
was
was
riding
cool,
on.
yeah.
on the Saturday.
Yeah, I was on the Saturday.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I was cool with him on the Saturday, but when the Sunday race came, I'm like, you're an idiot. Like,
Nah,
I get it.
I like it.
I get it. You're his mate, but it's not like he's fighting for 1 or 2 points. He's got 19 points to play with. You're bowing out. Bow out in front of your home crowd on a podium.
Yeah, but if Bagnaia was in that situation and Bastianini was behind him or something, you wouldn't want him to attack him or do a
That's
stupid
different,
move.
but
Yeah, I know.
But he's not going to make a stupid move. I know he's not going to barrel roll him and try and dart up the inside.
You don't know what could
understand,
happen,
I understand he's your mate, but for fuck's sake, like, good on you for retiring and amazing career, whatever. But that's
And
just-
the misses
It's
as
not
well.
a wrong. Like, that's a wrong mentality. I would be taking the podium any day of the week. I couldn't give a shit.
MotoGP is really interesting because there's such friendships that goes on.
cliques.
Where in F1, there's nothing like that. Everyone is for themselves. There's no
They're a little
mates
bit
on
more,
the grid.
I think they're a little bit more seed oil in F1.
They're not. There's no.
I think they're more
they're a bit-
autistic.
yeah.
There is no mates on the grid. There's no not passing someone. There's no letting anyone by. There's no mates at all. It's really interesting how I suppose that being that motorcycle,
There's
being
more
that,
camaraderie, I reckon,
it has to be something like that.
about motorcycle racing.
Or niche, like it's a more niche thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's
You're
like
probably spending more time together around the circuits as well, growing up.
Yeah.
How many times speak to the guys like, oh yeah, I know him.
The thing
we
is,
raced
Less
together.
affluent backgrounds
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
right.
And what 30% of the field's Spanish? Wouldn't you say in MotoGP? 30%.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably a good
Yeah,
number.
where in F1, there's 20 drivers from 15 different countries as well. So
a
there's
lot
no
of
growing.
palms.
Yeah.
A lot of palms, but then I don't
Yeah.
know how much they really like each other.
No, they don't.
I don't mind. I didn't mind it, to be honest. If either way, if it was Bastianini holding someone up or Aleix Espargaro, and I would have done the same. If that was my mate, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be wanting my mate to win the title, and I'd be doing anything I could.
But he's still going to win the title.
Yeah, but like, you know, you don't know that at the same time. Like, who knows what's going to happen? It's such a
Yeah,
nerve-wracking
bad luck.
event.
Don't be there then.
Yeah, well, he's not anymore.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. I just got to gripe with it. If you're racing, you're racing. I get it if he desperately needed third place. That's fine, but he didn't.
From a neutral supporter who doesn't watch it much, wouldn't make sense because he's on a different factory, different bike.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's like, why aren't you attacking him? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it does not make sense. But like, because we know there's such a click there, and he's going to that team the next year.
Exactly.
And they want the number one plate as well.
Yeah.
There's all that going on as
Well,
well.
Tardozzi said that's fine. You can buy the number one plate, but
Well,
good luck trying to hold it.
That was a
Yeah.
stupid thing he said because they didn't buy the number one plate. They let the
gave it
number
up.
one plate go.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
There's-
I think that was a bit of lost in translation with the Italiano, though, wasn't
No,
it?
he was speaking
No.
English.
Really? And
Yeah,
he said
to
that?
TNT
That's
Sports.
crazy.
It was with our mate Gavin Emmett, I'm
Gav.
pretty sure.
Exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But
Yeah, I
I'm
think
like,
everyone's
all right,
thinking
funny to say, but
what do
no,
they
you
expect?
guys are
Did they
idiots
really
'cause you
expect
let it go.
Yeah.
Did they really expect Martin to stay at Primark again next year? Like, that wouldn't have made sense. And now they're Yamaha anyway, so we had to go. He wouldn't have gone a VR46 to be on a Grassini bike.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Nah,
not
that's
at
all
all.
right. What's Do you think he's going to run the one?
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%,
surely.
bro.
He better.
Oh, of course he is. Because he goes, fuck you, Ducati, for signing Marquez. That's the whole thing.
Did you see him ripping off, trying to rip off
Yeah.
Thingo's number one on the seat
What
in
was
the
with
press
that?
room?
What was with that, Daniel?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, he was in the press room. He must have had a couple champagnes already. He was like trying to rip
He
off
was
the
ripping
number
off
one.
bags number one.
Superbike.
About the Aprilia thing, I think they're going to run number one because it's going to be the only chance they're ever going to get to run number
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
probably.
100%.
Yeah, it's probably
Good
a good
point,
call. Probably a
good point.
cube.
But it was interesting and a bit of a homage to Bagnaia. He ripped his number one number
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
front of his fairing. And he was so humble about it. So he's such a good sportsman.
Yeah,
really,
he's
really
a great
humble.
champion.
Now, James, talk to us about the cool down room.
Oh, well,
And
look,
Dave, you can time in on this as well.
we were talking about it. I really loved how humble Bagnaia is, and he's a class act. He's an absolute class act, Bagnaia. But in the cool down room, you can just tell the egos of these
Of
people.
course.
Marquez was in there. He didn't want a bar of Martin. He's just thinking about 2025. Bagnaia was the ultimate, as you said, was the most forced smile ever. Obviously, I'm sure there's 0.01 of genuine happiness for him, but
Any true racer is hating anyone else beating them.
yeah, and you could
Period.
tell that.
No matter what level you're at,
Yeah.
you don't want to see your competitor beating you, and you'll put that smile on for the cameras, but deep down they're killing it. They'll be back at their teams and they'll be going, fuck, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. burning.
100%. They would. Marquez just didn't want to bar him. It was so funny, just ignoring
Yeah.
him, just thinking about next year or the next race or whatever it is, and the next bike. So
Yeah.
it's just funny how these guys. It was just a little insight into their mentality and how fierce they are, and how much that already burns them seeing someone else have all this success. It's just so funny, very interesting.
Well, I mean, see, like Bagnaia, you look at his whole life. He's got his sister there, his wife there, his family. They're following to him every race. It's
Yeah.
like that's their life.
Yeah.
He's racing for
And
his life. And
Exactly, and the ego of it, being
Oh,
the
yeah,
best,
being
and
the
then
best.
like seeing the number one get ripped
Go
off your
away.
bike.
And Mike, like
yeah.
what Superbike said before the pod, they think they are the best.
Yeah,
Bagnaia thinks he
course.
is the best. Marquez thinks he's the best, and they think they're way better than Martin.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve the championship deep down.
You don't think Bagnaia's going, I won 11 races,
that's
I
what I
should
was
be.
just about to say.
I should be world
Of
champion.
course he
That's
is.
right.
He's thinking.
You know,
yeah.
Marquez is thinking, I'm on a
I should be on a-
shitbox GP 23.
Yeah.
If I was on 24, I would have wiped everyone.
Yeah.
They're all thinking that. Maybe not Augusto Fernandez, but but it's just their mentality, and far out, it's just funny to watch.
Yeah, as we always say, that separates,
Yeah.
the greats from the best, the rest, I guess.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right.
And you got 3 or 2 guys that are definitely hungrier than ever.
Yeah, it's
in
a
there.
good podium, that's for sure.
A
Yeah.
few championships in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's about it. Have you got anything else? I mean, next week I think we're going to have a huge chat about debrief on testing, because that's always the best time of the year. But that's it for MotoGP, huh? Like, it's crazy.
Well,
It's done.
we haven't talked about Repsol's farewell. No mention of that. Just about the
Jesus
whole weekend.
Christ, you're right. I heard one little bit in qualifying. That was about it, though. Yeah.
No TV coverage.
No.
obviously, because they weren't nowhere near the thing. But there's nothing. Like, it's just fading into obscureness after being the most dominant team sponsor to
That's
ever,
crazy,
almost in any motorsport in Repsol.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, it's probably the most like notarized one, isn't it? So Repsol's, do you reckon they're still going to be on the grid next year on a different team, or
They might have a minor sponsorship.
Aprilia makes sense, though, doesn't it? Surely.
I don't know what makes sense anymore.
Yeah,
Got the new
that's right, we
Spanish
don't
champion
know.
on there. Like, you'd think, geez,
Well, they don't have a main sponsor, Aprilia.
they don't.
No,
No,
they don't.
So
That's
I
why-
wouldn't be surprised if they're a world champion, not team, but riders on there.
And then Castrol
Honda.
HRC.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
then
cool.
I wonder
That's
what
cool.
Zarco, what he's going to run. They have a new sponsor on board there, I'm assuming, as
On
well.
the
so-
LCR bikes, yeah. So it's interesting, and farewell to Repsol Honda because they've been the OGs for a long time. It's just going to be weird, and weird to not see them, and weird that they just
We
went
have
off
had
into
a bit of
obscurity.
a year of sort of it, it hasn't been a sudden loss. Like we haven't.
It's
It's
phasing
It's
out.
phasing out.
yeah.
We haven't had the same colours like what you're wearing
Yeah.
for the last year. So yeah, it's new beginnings. It's a new thing for the sport. The new logo. That
Yeah, what do we think of the new shit house logo?
that we all hate?
terrible.
But it's
No soul.
Stefano Domenicali, CEO of Formula One, coming across to now MotoGP, which is huge for the sport.
Is he related to Ducati Domenicali?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Dangerous things for tracks like Phillip Island, him coming over. He's big, like
Safety.
No. It's big on money, oil,
Oh, really?
Saudi Arabia. He's all about that. So when he came on board, things changed a lot. So that's interesting. We'll see these smaller Grand Prix. We'll see if they survive. Hopefully they do. Because all the small tracks they go to are all the good tracks. So the Saxon Rings, Aston's pretty big, I suppose. but-
Aston's huge.
it's massive.
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
What is so? Don't like the logo.
Nah, man, that's terrible.
Bro, it's seriously like I called you on like a Monday and said, James, just create something quickly on Canva and for 5 minutes, and that's Comic Sans, write it out
Yeah.
MotoGP. That's all
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
just going through all the fonts on Word.
Apparently, it's a copy of some other logo somewhere.
Yeah, F1 Manager, the game.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's the M from the game.
What are they thinking?
Don't know, they weren't thinking.
It's a disgrace.
That's horrible.
It's ticking. What's ticking?
It's a fridge.
That's
Oh,
been
is
ticking
it?
all episode.
Yeah, it's been ticking all
Oh, God.
episode.
Hey guys, can I be devil's advocate here? I just remember back in the day when Ducati changed their logo. The Castellani brothers had that, or the original 80s logo. They changed to when the Castellani guys had it with the 916. Then the Americans took over and they had the Ducati logo that they have now. I remember I hated it when it came out, because it was different.
Yeah.
But now I look at it and I love it. I think it looks
Yeah.
great. So whether you'll get that, I'm with you guys. I hate that MotoGP logo, but I sort of remember back in those days, I felt the same with the Ducati thing as well. So whether you sort of come around to it, I don't know.
Well, it's interesting. You're right, because it's a more simplified version. Like that new Ducati logo is a simplified version of the old Ducati logo.
But I think it's lifeless. Like you look
It's
at the
lifeless.
Soulless, yeah.
You look at the old one now, and it's got the checkered flag, and it kind of looks like the plaque that they put on the Tower of Champions as well. So I
Yeah, it
don't know. I
sucks.
think they've missed the trick. I don't
And
think
M2 and M3, it's interesting.
Well, yeah, it's like
What
No
would BMW
colour,
have to say
nothing.
about that?
Yeah, true.
They'd have it copyrighted, you'd assume. So, yeah. So Jimmy, back to what we were saying. What's our dick of the week this week?
So our sexyheaven.com.au dick of the week.
Where's
it's in the back of my car. Is the new MotoGP logo. It could all.
Yeah.
It's just it's
shocking.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not something that's going to grow on you because it's so simple. Like it's not something that is going to be like, oh, that looks really good on there. That looks really good.
If
on
I
there.
if I go to you guys and in a year's time, be like, you know what, it's grown on me. I like it. Just like uppercut me because
Yeah, I'll
it's
slap
like
you.
don't let me even think like that
Don't
because
have
it
to tell
sucks.
me twice.
Yeah,
Do
fair
it with
enough.
that, you're saying it,
Yeah.
but,
You and everyone else,
joking.
bruh.
Love it, bro.
Oh, I just had one more note on MotoGP just before we cut. Was KTM's financial crisis it's turning into. I was reading some into it today, and they're in massive trouble. So they've sold off some of their stuff, and then their Q3 financials came back in like massive losses. So, and a big thing was buying Envy Augusta is just hemorrhaging money from all reports. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're going to run 4 factory bikes next year. 4 highly paid riders as well. Are they going to be able to keep them going forward? So we shall see.
Yeah, it's interesting on what's going to happen there. And obviously it's gone to KTM in the MotoGP world. With that CF Moto, is it staying CF Moto and everything for Moto 2 and Moto 3?
I think it is.
I think it is. But I don't know. No one's been really that clear on it.
No.
Like, I think, what's his name? Little Colombian's going up to CF Moto,
Correct.
Moto 2 team.
Who's signed for Moto 3 that we know?
Dennis Fodger.
Yeah, that's Dennis Ford.
Yeah.
He's going to Aspar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was there a young Australian kid signed? Or am I?
Yeah, Cormac Buchanan.
Yeah, fan of the pods.
Kiwi.
Kiwi.
Yeah, but, basically
Oh,
a brother in arms.
It's like, it's like anything.
Yeah.
Pavlova. Barla.
Jack Miller, he's half Kiwi.
Well, speaking of Kiwis, no more Simon Crafer as well.
Yes.
We're not going to hear his voice as much.
Yeah, it's all right.
What?
Yeah,
come on, dude.
Yeah,
What
it's
are you
fine.
doing?
Nah, he's been crap this year. He's been not as good as he usually was.
I don't know.
Hot
about
take.
that.
That's
Hot
a
take.
terrible
Hot
take.
take.
Yeah, he's like, he used to be the best and he's not as good now.
What do you reckon's changed?
I don't know. Just don't listen to him as fondly.
He's
now.
off him because he's leaving. That's why.
Yeah, I think so.
Quick
You
update on the
turn-
KTM
Oh, yeah.
news.
Oh, yeah. let's go to
An hour ago, they are seeking funding of up to 100 million euros.
Fuck.
Did you say an hour ago it came out?
That was an hour ago. It
Oh,
came
that's
out.
to pay for Maverick Vinales.
Dave, you better make a couple of calls, mate. Get the money together for him.
And that's to
That's all the
get
burnt clutch baskets.
approval and probably some happy faces from their banks and shareholders at the moment.
The thing is, the whole industry, automotive, cars, bikes, etc., it's going into a tough time because we just don't know what's the world's
Yeah, we
going to
don't know
be.
what's gonna happen, eh?
Well, Putin came out and said he was going to launch nukes if that Biden came out and said they're allowed to release long-range missiles now,
yeah.
and then he came back at that. So we'll probably, if by the time this comes out, we might already be all blown to smithereens anyway.
Still like and subscribe. though.
Buy the hat. Buy the hat.
If you survive, get around us.
Hey guys, just on a KTM thing, like I was talking to James last night about it. I still can't get my head around why KTM are in MotoGP. I mean, they're a dirt bike company primarily, and I don't know what the end game is with them. And why
Well,
they're
they come
spending-
out of a road bike now.
The new
Yeah,
990.
because
Yeah.
it's always been the what wins on Sunday sells Monday,
Yeah.
right? And they just never had anything. And Gas and Husqvarna and stuff. I just it seemed like a lot of money spending where. It's for a branding exercise maybe, but
Well, they got that new what do you call it, the 990,
990.
and that super sport bike that's
Yeah.
coming, and they've obviously got the Super Dukes as well.
Yeah, but they haven't had a super sport bike
No,
or
well,
a
it's-
full fairing
It's
bike.
the reason why they purchased MV Agusta. KTM know their brand is for dirt. They do road bikes, but KTM is dirt.
Yeah, but why would you purchase MV Augusta?
Well, I think they're going to probably try and restructure MV Agusta's product range and not be all unique bikes every.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a way to kill a brand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's the
what's
hard
the one thing
thing.
they're known
Well,
for?
the other problem is if you get an MV Agusta, well, how long are you expecting for that thing to go in the mechanic shop after 100 Ks?
Yeah.
That's just unreliability.
Yeah, but you know what you're getting into before you buy one.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
if they could change that around, who knows?
What does KTM stand for, Curdy?
I don't know.
Keep throwing money.
Right, you are. Right, you are. All
If it
right.
floats, flies, or
Fucks,
fucks.
you read it. What's the other one? What's the other Dave Shorey?
Say if you go sailing, all you need to do is just stand.
Get
on.
going. He's lived for this moment right now.
the definition of sailing is standing in a cold shower tearing up $100 bills.
It gets better every time. I've heard it about 150 times. All right, Moto 2, Daniele Briscali. Give us some results, if I haven't put you in the hot seat there, sorry.
Aaron Canet, Manu Gonzalez, and Diego Moreira were your top three. Ayagura, Philip Salach, Sergio Garcia, Ethan Guevara, Albert Arenas, Alonso Lopez, and Fermin Aldeguer. Your top 10.
Shout out to Diego Moreira, Rossi-esque move
What a pass.
It was great.
on the
Yeah.
reigning champ, fraud Igura.
But just Moto 2 in a whole, I mean, what an amazing year. No back-to-back winners through the whole year.
How's this stat? Canet's won the most races in Moto 2.
I know.
And he was passed, okay.
You're
he
going
was
full
passed for the lead 4 times this year on the last lap.
Yeah.
How's that for a stat?
If he just stayed on the bike, he would have won the bloody title.
He must have
was
a
injured too.
He must have had a
Yeah.
shocking
Yeah.
start of the season.
He was
Yeah,
injured.
he did.
because
did.
he dominated that second. I'm gonna say he had an amazing second half of the season. Yes, he still got passed on the last lap that few times, but he had a great second half of the season. He was there or thereabouts every single race where it was so open.
Is he the favourite next year?
Yes,
He has to be,
I
doesn't he?
called that on X last night. That was my call. He will be the
has to
bookie's
be.
favourite, unless someone's gonna.
We said that last week, but on here as well.
Dude, how big a talent is David Alonso going to be? That's going to be the big thing. If he is a big talent, the best we've seen in 20 years, then
I'm not going to lie. I don't really pay attention much to like Moto 3, Moto 2 testing until practice starts in round
right.
1. I'm going to be keen to see his
is that
times on a
on-
Moto 2 bike.
that's not at Barcelona, is it?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know if they. I think they do one in a couple weeks, maybe in Jerez.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think they have their own.
They definitely have their own.
And they do a Malaysia test
And
separate to the MotoGP
I
test.
believe so. I believe so. I'm not. Or maybe even a Portimao test as well.
Yeah.
Stacked field, but next year it's anyone's game. But you'd think Canet's going to go in as the hot
Oh,
favourite.
jeez, you would think so. I reckon if Garcia gets himself right, maybe
On
him.
shoe.
Hopefully on shoe. Dixon's good for one win, maybe.
Yeah,
Your mate-
he panicked again.
Well, he did
took out
panic
Navarro.
today.
They
Yeah.
panic. They panic, these guys. Far out. I just can't understand. Just get it going, get it back on the track and start passing. They start going wide 3 or 4, 5 corners after their incident. Like, happens all the time. That's the difference between the good and the great.
Well, the great will pass riders calmly, but
Yeah.
straight away. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
Marquez did that when he started in the last in the field. He was like a PlayStation game on easy. He passed
that's
like
right.
15 riders in 4 corners. But Dixon, no offense,
No.
bro, but you don't have the talent.
No. Well, yeah,
Well,
he thinks he
but he
does.
bet the next Mark Marquez that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Dickhead.
That was a stupid call.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, back to Foggia, going back to
what's
Moto
the go
3.
with
Like,
this? What's the go with this?
I don't know.
Daniel,
It's-
talk to us.
So he's
Well,
filling.
wants to go. He's done nothing.
So he's going back to CF Moto.
He's
next-
taken
Well, I don't
David
know.
Alonso's
Yeah,
spot.
Yeah. Interesting.
But you don't really see that. And I
don't think I've ever seen that.
Foggia was good in Moto 3. And like, does he just not have options in Moto 2? Or is it
Obviously
him just
doesn't.
thinking, you know, I need to go back to Moto 3 and cut my teeth? Like, it just doesn't seem.
It doesn't seem right because you just have to grow. Like, and the Moto 2 bike is so different to the Moto 3 bike. Completely different machines. I just don't understand the move at all.
But he's got so much. I think this guy's got so much talent. Like,
Maybe it's just a mental thing. Maybe he
Yeah.
just needs to get a bit of confidence back and
But he had
Try again.
I mean, he had an injury ravaged year this year, Moto 2, didn't he? Or he just wasn't
no, he
performing?
just
I
wasn't
just don't think
performing.
he's- yeah.
He just couldn't cut it.
he's on the Itel train.
It's our
bike.
chance. It's not on the shit bike either.
I'm pretty sure Bastianini won a title on that bike.
Correct? He did.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's just bad signs. And I like Dennis Foggia. And when he came in, he was like a next big thing. I remember when he
was.
wild
Yeah,
carded.
yeah,
He got
yeah.
like a top 10 at Valencia
Yeah.
on a wild card.
Well, I'm just thinking outside the box here. Would have CF Moto thrown some money at him?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. Maybe.
they've won the championship. They might want to win it again. Proven track record.
Yeah, he's strong in
no
Moto
young
3.
kids to choose from, which would be hard to believe. I mean, those Spanish kids are like popping out like flies, aren't they? They're easy to find.
Piqueras is going to be a title contender.
He went to
next
another
year.
team. Where's he gone?
They're paying him like a couple $100,000.
Yeah, he ditched his Leopard
contract
for it.
to go.
No one does that.
To go
by
to
the
where?
way.
Where?
Oh, I can't remember where
He's
it is.
done
MT
it's
helmet.
Ivan Tola's bike. Yeah.
God,
That's
that's crazy.
But a couple
Freaking
$100,000.
insane. What? Oh, no one.
But
I wouldn't go to MT.
But you're right though.
helmets.
He's the next thing coming through. Piqueras.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But how
definitely.
many times have we said that? And some rookies come up from the Rookies Cup and dominated. Guevara was the same.
Yeah. Can they handle the bigger bike? That's the big question these days.
You know.
But yeah, back to Moto 2. It's yeah. I mean, it was probably the best Moto 2 year I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a brilliant year.
Every race was really good. There was a couple of races that were you went out like Vietti in Malaysia, for instance, but yeah, the racing was incredible.
Yeah,
That's a
been
really
good.
perfect package, that Triumph engine, those bikes. It's a really, really good racing package. So,
Tyres.
Yep,
the Pirelli
Pirellis,
tyres,
yeah.
yeah, that's huge this year. So we'll see if Arbolino can get his hand around him for next year. He might be a title contender. We shall see.
Yeah,
Who
change
kno-
pace for him, new team.
Yep.
Exactly. You just never know. Like, we all thought Baldassari was it and then just did nothing.
that's right.
Yeah, the 6Bs.
Yeah,
that
the six
time.
Bs.
Yeah.
Even Philip Salach has had a good second
Yeah.
half of the year. You know.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
actually
So
done
all
a
these
better
guys
one.
are coming into their own, and
Yep.
you know you've still got Alonso Lopez, as we said, Garcia, Canet, Gonzalez, Morera. He's having a good run.
Gar-
He,
Garcia
well,
had
Moreira is the only one that's done anything from the Moto 3 paddock.
That's right. Senna. There's another one.
Yeah.
Senna looked good.
Colin
Yeah.
Vire.
Yeah.
Like you got these David Alonso. You got these great
But-
guys coming up.
You're gonna see these great guys coming up, and only one or two of them's gonna shine.
I
That
know.
just seems to be the way, isn't it?
But it's still a stacked field and everywhere around them.
Yeah.
It's going to be good anyway. Yeah, you still got Dixon, Vietti, Onshu. It's Masia as well, another year up.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully he does something.
Garcia will be one to watch.
Yeah.
He looked better on Sunday as well.
and Weirtas coming across.
Yeah. True.
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And we've seen with Gonzalez, it's possible to win and
100%.
podium. So
Oh, you're right about testing. That's going to be like really interesting to see.
I know.
Watch, isn't it? Like
Hopefully you can watch it.
David Alonso. Yeah, maybe.
If you're a team manager on MotoGP and you get to, let's say, Mugello halfway through next year, David Alonso's won. Let's say there's 8 races and he's won 4 of them. Are you signing that kid?
what's he done the other 4 but?
I'd
Has he
say
thrown it down the road?
nah.
Or?
I'd say top 10s.
I think it was. I mean, okay, just to go forward on your question, think about this right now. That Aaron Canet dominated the last few races. He won 2-3 out of the last 5
Yeah,
or
he's
something
been
like
on
that.
the podium on just about all of
So
them.
Ducati signed Canet right now. That's what happened to Aldeguer a year
That's
before the
right.
season.
That's
Can you
exactly
imagine
right.
that happening?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But back to your question, if David Alonso finishes podium in the first race, someone will sign him. 100%.
Well, they did that.
KTM will
Rims.
sign him.
100%. He'll be in. Vinales off.
Yeah.
David Alonso in.
Or someone like Honda
But then like
will
if,
try and chase him.
Yeah, they'd have to throw a mega
don't do it to him.
money,
Don't-
like ludicrous money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But they'll still throw it.
Yeah, 100% they will.
I think he's smart
But
enough
I
not
think
to
you
do
would.
that.
I think you would sign him. Like
Yeah.
because like his track record is incredible, and already.
Well,
it's
shout out
already
to Acosta. I mean, he was top non-Ducati rider this year. Oh,
No,
no.
it wasn't. He lost it.
No, he lost in the last round, didn't he?
away.
Binder just passed him.
Binder picked
But, I mean, still, I know it was his first year and he had made some mistakes, but still an incredible season.
incredible.
And,
Incredible first
like,
season.
look at qualifying. I mean, Binder and Miller were 17th and 18th and he was 6th.
he was making them look silly.
He was
Like-
carrying them, and remember, how many times he crashed because he's learning the bike.
Yeah.
like Jesus.
So it's proven that these kids can come up and be fast straight away. So that's going to be a good stead for David Alonso.
I
My
think-
only worry with him is he's small. Like, he's really small.
He's tiny,
Yeah,
That's my only concern
He is
on
tiny.
the bigger bike.
Danny Pedrosa-esque. I think KTM's going to struggle keeping this kid. I've just got this weird feeling. I can't see him on a KTM. I
But
cannot
is-
see him on a KTM.
Does KTM own CF Moto or no?
Yeah,
Is
they're-
CF Moto its own thing and they're just in a partnership in
No,
Grand
they
Prix
own-
paddock?
No, I'm pretty sure they own CF Moto.
It's a KTM
Yeah.
partnership.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's going through that pure mobility because CF Moto was almost going to be KTM this year. And Jose Aspar, whatever his name was pissed off because he didn't want to be representing as CF Moto because he used to be Gas
Okay.
with Guevara and Sergio Garcia.
Yes.
That was his team. So,
Jorge Martinez.
yeah, that one. But, like, I don't know. I've got this weird feeling that I don't think he's going to be on that KTM. I reckon, like, someone, if Aprilia gets their shit together,
They'll chase him.
yeah. I don't.
It's not a bad shout.
And like, if KTM aren't doing anything by the time he gets up there, then he's already seen Pedro Acosta, who's an amazing talent. We know he's a gem. Like, do you really want to be there? You know what I mean?
It's gone to the days of loyalty. I think you want to go to a bike that's going to win.
Well, you have to these days. You can't do a Rossi. It doesn't work. You know, like, look at Marquez. It's a prime example. Look at Pedro Acosta.
Yeah, Marquez, prime example. You never thought of seeing him on a Ducati.
Yeah, no
No,
way.
no way.
He's already taken Bastianini's seat. You see, he's already moved into the garage in the celebrations.
really?
They carried him and sat down on Bastianini's seat
Oh,
in the
no
big
way.
garage, drinking
wild.
champagne.
Oh, no.
How funny is that? God, you already kicked out like 40 minutes after the race.
Yeah, that's dog eat dog world.
Yeah,
But yeah, Marquez to run a full red suit, no sponsors
Yeah,
on
no
tomorrow night.
sponsors.
So that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah. So he's still going to he's on loan from Red Bull. He's going to run the monster on the leathers, on the bike, but he won't have to do any of
Not
the
on his
events Won't have to do the merch. Maybe to set on the underside of his cap, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And he won't have to hold the bottle either. So, and he can still use a Red Bull facilities apparently.
Yeah, okay.
So I reckon Red Bull's gonna pay to big money to be back aligned with Marquez in 2026 because next year is the last year of Monster Ducati's contract.
Gotcha.
So I reckon they'll pay big money to be with Marquez because he's just a marketing machine.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. They have to put fair bit of money behind it
And
because you also got to cover Superbikes as well.
Yeah, I don't know how that works because in the Italian Ducati motocross team's Monster
Yep.
and Bagnaia's Monster. I don't know how it works. It's so confusing, obviously, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. Way beyond my pay grade,
Yeah, but if they're gonna follow anyone, it's gonna be him.
of course.
Yeah. 100%.
I'd rather be Red Bull anyway.
2-year
than
contract for
Monster.
Marquez at Ducati, yeah?
Yeah.
2 + 1 plus options.
Early predictions on this test. What do you think he's gonna do on this test coming up?
Fastest.
Fastest.
Is it?
I don't know, man.
It's a 2-day test, isn't it? And just for
Yeah.
everyone who didn't know, he's going to run the 24 bike in the morning and the 25 bike in the afternoon.
Heard it here first.
Heard it here first, T-Shav.
5 days after it was released in the press.
If anyone didn't know, they might listen to us for the news. And
They only do that for the past 30 years in
that's
testing.
right.
They've only ever done it.
Someone's going to DM us. Yeah, thanks, dickheads. we know.
the true fans.
MotoGP fans are the true fans. We know this.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, I think he'll be. Imagine Vinales up there. If he goes fast in testing, I'll fucking crack it.
Bro, I'll
go and buy his merch if he does.
If he goes fastest in testing, he's fraud watch next year. That's
Automatically.
what happens.
He's
Automatically.
on watch already anyway. It doesn't matter.
Automatically, there's 3 most important things for me: is how fast this new Aprilia is going to be,
Yeah.
how fast Marquez is going to be, and if KTM is going to make a leap. They're the 3 big things for
I
me.
haven't heard anything come out of KTM's camp about anything new, anything
any
exciting.
development.
I don't know what's going on there.
I'm intrigued to see how Miller adapts to this Yamaha.
Yeah.
But it's always a hard one. Straight after the season, 2-day test.
It's a
I don't
hard
really,
one to
I don't
read
really
into.
judge it
Yeah.
that hard. I wait for the next test that they go to.
Maybe
And that's
this-
where you can really see who's going to do what.
This is Vinales' like, this is it.
He's
This is
licking his lips.
championship. He's like, this world
Yep, this is my
championship.
time to shine.
He's like, they will remember me.
I'll show them fraud. I'll show them fraud.
15 blokes yelling at him.
Let's get on to Moto 3. If you we've gone off topic with testing now, but
Yeah, true. That was a rant, wasn't it? It's all right. It's what the fans want.
that's it.
Moto 3. As always, David Alonso,
Yeah.
Danny Holgado, Angel Piqueras. Top 3, Jose Antonio Rueda, Rusei Yamanaka, David Munoz, Tayo Furuzato, Jacob Ralston, Ivan Altola, and Colin Vaya.
Shout out
Round
to
the
Jacob.
Top 10.
Yeah.
And Kelso, they'll up
equal
there for a
best.
bit. Yeah.
Equal best for Jacob.
Yeah, it's interesting with Jacob. Going to that track twice in 1 year, you can really see he's taken that leap because obviously
I
it's
think he got a good result there in Barcelona early in the year
Well,
as
it's a-
well. Yeah.
He's a real talent. He really is because he's a rookie. He's done really well. He's always the leader of that second pack. Yeah, he's got a lot to learn still, but really impressive from him. Gets
100%.
beaten up a little bit because these little Spanish little kids chuck up the inside, like with Ralston as well. But yeah, sorry, with Kelso as well. But yeah, he's another one that's going to be really interesting to see next year.
Jacob was doing some harsh moves though. I watched him going
he's
into
ruthless,
that
man.
back chicane up the hill and he was chucking it in. I was like, Jesus.
No F's given from him.
Nah.
Like Holgado's aggressive, isn't he? God, he goes chucks
Bro,
it in.
David Munoz is
Oh,
fucking
no,
aggressive.
fuck.
Jesus
He's-
Christ.
yeah.
He's another level.
He's got to be careful, man.
That race is, again, amazing. It's just
Yeah, dude, David Alonso. It's probably one of the most impressive.
7 on the trot.
I know, and like you got to remember,
Who does that?
There's domination in Grand Prix racing all through the categories, but he won all his races pretty much from a pack. like he might have won a couple of races by more than 2 seconds, but he just blows them out with 5 laps to go. But it's got to be one of the most impressive seasons in Grand Prix racing history.
Oh,
I
I was
mean,
going to say, especially in the lower class.
like it just in 7 races, he won the last 7 races.
14, is it 14 wins
14
out of
wins
how
in the
many?
season.
20 races.
That's fucked, man. And like Moto 3, it's the one category in the world where you think, I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it's
Nobody dominates it.
It's 4 laps to go. David Alonso's third, and you go, he's going to win.
Flicks
Yeah,
a
that's
switch.
right.
He's like 9th with like 8 laps that gets up to 4 and then just go, like, it's just incredible. So, Oh, I thought David had something to say.
It's just I don't know.
Like we were saying before, it's just how you say Marquez on a video game. He's just clinical.
Oh,
he
I
picks his
know.
battles. He goes, all right, cool. They're going to have a bit of a tussle. I'll just slide in there and that's it. Game over. See you later.
But it was funny with like 2 laps to go. I think Holgado just said to the guys behind, "Stay on my back wheel because he's gone. He's gone. If we don't do anything,
and that's been the problem this year. All the guys behind him being all the young kids, and they're like, no, I need to come into second so I can chase him. It's like, no, stay with me. We'll
Stay
go
with me.
together. And
It's always like a Ruosai Yamanaka butt that just behind him fucks it for everyone. You know what I mean? It's always
Forsato.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, it always is. And then like
Is it
you can
because
see
they're
Asian?
the Japanese.
Yeah, it's something. They don't understand.
Yeah, they
Something in
they
the
do a
sushi.
ridiculous move past the inside and they back the whole pack up.
Yeah,
it happens all the
they'll
time.
run
problem.
both of them wide
Yeah,
and that's it.
yeah.
There was a 16. The lead group at one stage was 16 riders.
I
It
know.
was insane. It was like 8 abreast going into the corner.
It was nuts.
Yeah, it's incredible racing. And yeah, another category. Like, how good's MotoGP in a whole? That for next year, it's going to be so good to watch.
I think this has been the most complete season from all 3 categories.
Yeah, great call.
Agreed, because those good races back, those good MotoGP championships back, 10 years ago, Moto2 was crap. You know,
that's
boring
right. It
as.
was one person.
Never really watched it. Like ever since probably Remy Gardner's season, it's got better and better and better
Yeah.
since Triumph's come in.
Yeah.
So, and then Moto3 is just perfect. Like
You don't have to
perfect
change
category.
the thing with that.
No, don't change it. Don't change it. It's perfect. So
And just going back to David Alonso real quick,
Yep.
for a little 17-year-old, speaks multiple languages, speaks really well, has like heaps of charisma, personality. You know, is talking up to the crowd, like just way to win fans. Like I don't know anyone who doesn't like him. And sometimes you see guys and they win 7 races in a row, and you think, oh, like that's boring. But then like I'm going for him.
Yeah, you're
I'm
still
like,
rooting for him.
Can you win 8? Like you know what I mean? Like it's just
oh god, it's gonna be. As I said, like the last 2 weeks ago, in 3 years' time, you're gonna have a Costa, Marquez still hanging around. You're gonna have David Alonso. You have Bagnaia hanging on by a thread. Like
Jorge Martin,
I know what the fuck.
Maverick Vinales will finally come good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in Grand Prix racing is in a terrific time, and with Libya Media coming in, it's going to be advertised well, more fans to the sport. So it's a really really good time for everyone.
It's going to be interesting. How it's all going to look in the next 5 years is going to be very interesting.
They just need to do the right direction. Keep it raw. Keep it exciting.
That's
raw. Keep
the
it raw.
worry, though.
Yeah, that is the worry. You don't want it to
Well,
like.
they've already fucked the logo. Like seriously,
Yeah, true. But anyway, we'll see.
we've got a lot of messages about it's already turning woke. It's so funny. It's already turned F1 woke. Superbike's laughing.
Go
Get
woke,
him on.
go woke, go broke. Except F1, I suppose.
No,
But
there's no chance that Trump's in power now. So
we haven't mentioned that yet. My God.
He's number 1 ticket holder for the pod apparently.
Trump. Yeah, he sent
Yeah,
us
he
a couple
retweeted
messages.
us.
Yeah. He was wearing a Republic hat at the UFC. Did you see
Did you
him?
see it? It was actually make Honda great
Yeah, he's
again.
a massive Honda fan apparently.
Yeah.
Bastard
What an
stole our
entrance that
idea.
was at UFC, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, I watched
And
that
John
fight.
Jones, did you see him? He's like, he points.
He did the
He did
dance.
the dance and then points at him like how Trump points. Oh, fuck. That was just brilliant. Yeah. Who's the sexiest man in the room? Like me, like this.
The one where it pans where he's like,
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
That was wild. He walked in. Trump walked in, bro. So crazy. He walked in of RFK Jr.
Yep.
Tulsi Gabbard,
Yep.
Elon Musk, and Kid Rock,
Rock.
and Dana White. Like,
Yeah.
and what a crazy world we live in at a UFC event.
I know, and like they didn't mention Elon Musk at all. Like he's one of the richest men in the world, and you got all these other superstars. What a crazy night that was. Better than the boxing, that's for sure.
The
Fuck.
boxing
Oh.
was terrible.
don't even go there.
Jeez, Pino wouldn't have been happy with that performance, huh?
But we all knew it, I guess. didn't
No,
we?
that's right. It was
yeah,
always
exactly.
going to go that way.
Exhibition.
This
It
was
was,
a
just
money
there for,
fight.
it was just there for a payday.
Exactly.
It was embarrassing to watch, but
Yeah, it was.
Anyway.
It was. Any more on
Tyson.
Moto 3, Jimmy Bob?
Nah, that's all I got. Just David Alonso is an absolute G. Can't wait for him in Moto 2 and wish everyone else all the best.
Wow, that's MotoGP for 2024. We'll recover a season review in the next couple of weeks as well. For
Yeah,
everyone
and we'll have
wondering.
our final power rankings as well for the year. We'll
Yep.
give everyone a good analysis.
So that's exciting, really exciting. So
There's always so much to talk about. There's going to be testing and
yeah,
I don't know. We all waffle on about
Yeah,
it
of course.
forever anyway.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
problem is the best part of this pod is like the first 15 minutes before we actually go on. Because we start talking about MotoGP before
yeah,
we
I'll
start.
save it for the pod. Save
Yeah,
for the
I know,
pod.
we're going to keep
Doesn't come
saying.
out.
I know, it's funny how it works. Is any F1 news floating around, Thomas Love?
No, Vegas on this weekend. Just remember 5 p.m. Sunday race. It's a Saturday
That's
night
not
race
bad.
in America.
Oh, that's good.
So that's exciting for us. And Stefano Domenicali. And yeah, not much. We'll see. 3 races to go. 3 weekends on the trot.
Can Max secure it this weekend?
He can.
Do you know what the situation is?
I do not know. No.
It's one of those funky ones like, he's going to finish here and
Yeah, he's gotta
or is it
win.
real simple?
No, he's got to win. Actually, Daniel, I'm talking about RC. I actually do not know 100% that. I think I did see something, but so 26 points for a win in fastest lap. He's got to be 50 points. It's got to be 52 points ahead after the weekend.
Yeah, okay.
And then also because you've got a sprint
Yeah.
race in Qatar as well. So it's another. So he's got to be 64 points ahead after this weekend.
Isn't that funny this time?
So, sorry.
No, you go.
If he wins, he would automatically be crowned champion, even if Norris finishes second and takes the fastest lap.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That makes it nice and simple.
I need Norris to get 2 more wins, but to get my bet going.
You reckon he will?
Wash out. Nah, I don't think so. I think he'll win Qatar because it's a really high downforce McLaren track. I've got money on Max this weekend. I reckon he's going to win. That's in Tom's.
He had an amazing drive there last year.
He loves low grip because everyone
he
struggles
had a
with low
great
grip.
drive there.
Yeah. With a broken front wing.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call. And then Abu Dhabi's anyone's guess. Ferrari might go well this weekend as well.
Yeah, I reckon I got my money on Charles this
They're a
weekend.
yo-yo Ferrari. You never know what you're going to get with them.
But what
They're a box of
F1
chocolates.
has been this year, and like we were talking about this on Saturday night when we were out for dinner about tyre wars, you don't know who was going to win because each manufacturer's car suits different tracks. Some very high downforce, some high speed. Some temperature, how it works. Like the Mercedes love low temps, like the Aprilias, where the McLarens are better in high temperatures. So it's all that. It's a big mystery, and F1's been amazing this year for that because we just do not know who's going to win.
This time last year, or whenever the Vegas Grand Prix one was on, the news was how much, it was a shambles.
Yeah.
No one liked it. And then they had that drain issue. Remember
Yep,
the start of
practice.
FP1? How funny that was. But you don't hear anything now. And that was I think it was my favourite
I
Grand
think we
Prix
all
last
said it
year.
was just about
Fantastic.
Vegas was
Yeah, amazing.
amazing.
Well, ticket prices are like a tenth of what they are now, which is always going to happen. The first year was always going to have the hype.
Yeah.
They always have to get, it's F1's promoting their own event. They bought the land, they built the pit paddock. F1 did that themselves. It's not, it's not Nevada doing it or the US doing it. So it's a big gamble, but it's paid off. And who would have thought we'd have seen F1 cars driving down the strip,
They just
It
got
is
to invite
crazy.
us
Seriously.
there, I think.
And Dave still owes us a
Yeah.
trip there, so
Yeah,
that'd be
true.
nice.
He did promise us a trip.
I've got that on.
So they go down to about a third of the price.
Yeah. True. Now corporate. We want corporate now.
Yeah, we're going to do media passes, actually.
But there's still
these days.
some massive tickets. Like Lewis Hamilton's released his own tickets. So it's
Do you have to have blue hair to get in? Do
yeah, you gotta be.
you have to be a minority?
You gotta be lip wristed. But the thing is,
Do you have to have low teeth?
you have to. Yeah, you gotta.
I can
There's
keep
an
going.
Aston.
I can keep
I've got
going.
one in the chamber, but yeah,
Not yet.
Nah.
Not yet.
Patreon,
Uh-oh,
maybe.
Patreon.
Yeah.
You'll have to have some pronouns going on if
Yeah, 100%.
You're going to be a Caesar
You have to
retard.
have a name, like a name tag with your pronoun on there to get in.
You have to have your own sensory room.
Gertie?
We're not getting far in Formula One, unfortunately. guys.
Just going back to that, Aston Martin have $1 million package that you get like a hotel room, tickets for all your mates, blah, 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 and you get a car with it. And you get to keep the car.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's like
Oh, so you're buying a car?
Yeah, you're buying
I
a
was gonna
car
say,
with-
far out, for $1 million, I
Yeah.
want to go to the showgirls.
yeah, true.
But someone was saying like if you were going to buy the car anyway, it might actually not be a bad value because
Yeah,
you get
that's
the
right,
car
that's right.
plus
the
the trip.
experience.
Yeah, and then they sell a car out of it. So
Well, what was last year? It was tailored for like the Chinese. It was like
Mandarin thing.
$8 million
Yeah.
ticket thing.
Wasn't it Lucky 7 package or something?
Yeah, Lucky 8 package or
Lucky
something.
eight,
They love
yeah.
the 8s.
They love the 8s. Yeah,
Anyway, it was,
Thank you.
But they eat that up, don't they?
they do. Yeah. Yeah, they do. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm really excited for the race.
Like
actually.
a dog.
Like Cherry eats it up.
Yeah, and it's good. Sunday afternoon race is good because Qatar is in the middle of the night. Abu Dhabi is in the midnight. So it's the last race to watch where I'm going to be 100% concentrating.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed Vegas. Just leave it, bro. Don't worry about it. I really enjoyed Vegas last year, and low grip low grip tracks is where it's at. It's shit house for MotoGP.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible.
It's terrible, and Barcelona's a little bit like that.
Yeah, they were saying that it was low grip and high tyre wear, which it seems similar with Vegas, I suppose. It's a completely different track, but
But it works for F1.
Yeah.
And you see Max Verstappen last year have such a great race because he's such of a high caliber driver where he can drive around that, where you've got Puss Norris that just puts it into the fence, which he did last year.
He did.
And he
And
crashed.
Massive shunt last
Yeah,
year.
it was
Lance
actually
Stroll
big.
went
That
in-
was a big
Lance
crash.
Stroll crashed in qualifying. Logan Sargent crashed as well.
What's new?
Fuck, I know.
That video popped off actually with and we'll banned from Instagram, and it still popped off. That Lance Stroll vid.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, sometimes you got to take a risk.
Try ban us.
Yeah, try ban us.
Please don't do that again. But
But the thing is, you're right though. With Verstappen, he can look at a corner and go, "That's how much grip I have."
Yeah.
Where these drivers, they have to have
They're a bit
perfect
like,
conditions.
yeah.
Yeah. So, like in the wet, you see how much better he is in the wet. So, yeah, it's a great point. Should we get Dave on for hot takes? You reckon?
yeah, let's get him on for hot takes.
All right, we'll cut it there.
All right. Welcome back, and we have a very special guest, my father, the infamous Dave Superbike Shaw. Welcome.
Dave.
Thank you, guys. I've been watching from afar, of course, and
He's crying. He's
No,
getting
no.
emotional.
He's a big fan.
I
He's a
choked
big
up there. And I'm very proud to be on tonight to.
Thanks to you, Dave. It's long awaited.
To
Long
share
awaited.
some experiences, I guess.
Put some normality back in,
Yeah,
the
well,
world.
yeah, we'll try.
So, if anyone doesn't know, Dave is a two-time Victorian champion. All right, talk to us about that, Dave.
Well, like I've always said, between Troy and me, we've got 3 world championships and 2 Victorian titles. So.
Take that, Troy Bayless.
You're a motorcyclist of the past, I suppose,
Well, yeah.
and still a current. So I shouldn't say of the past, but you're still
Yeah,
right.
well,
currently.
it's something I've been involved in all my life, and from motocross days, riding bikes when I was 12 years old, and like some people say, I've been having a midlife crisis, but I've been doing that all my life. So, so it's just been one of those things. And of course, with James, I remember having James at our motocross events when he was in a pram at the track, and
I was winning them as well.
he was
Well,
6
yeah.
months, and so a quick story about James, right? I got him. I got him a push bike. I said, "You get off those training wheels, and I'll get you a motorbike." Of course, we got in a thing. He rides without it. The following week, I was up in one of my dealers up in Ballarat. He had a little Pee-wee up there, which I bought. Got it back home. Had him riding around in that. Then a week later, had him in his first motocross race.
Jeez.
You want to know what happened to my first motocross race?
Absolutely.
I was versing a girl on a straight line and one thagging in a very sandy track.
Very sandy, yeah.
I crashed within about 5 meters, cried, and just didn't jump back on again.
That's the difference right there.
And I'm
That's
like,
the
get on the
difference, yeah.
damn bike, get on the
He's hit me. He's
Yeah,
hit
he
me.
would have been. Yeah.
I said, you got the sure name here is Ben Sully.
I crashed and cried.
Crashed and burned.
Still
Crashed
got a
and burned.
trophy.
Yeah,
Still
you got a trophy though. No, you did a couple of other little races around, I think, because we were doing VMX at the time.
Yeah.
And
you either have it or you don't, sort of thing.
Definitely,
I suppose.
definitely didn't have it. Definitely didn't have it.
you got to have that. The racing, you got to have that. Like we're talking about before, you've got to be.
You have a little bit of
you get on
CUNT
that-
in you.
Oh, a lot of it. Yeah. A lot of once you get on that line, and like I was saying before, everyone, no matter what level you are, have to think you're better than everyone else. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know,
If the gap doesn't exist, you're not a real racing driver, as they say, or
Yeah.
rider.
Yeah.
Superbike Shaw is restoring my RM250 as well. I'm sending it up to him.
Yeah, still.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get it back up.
Yeah, I'm not going to get that.
It's going to be next to my RM465.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah,
gonna
Dave
do
has
a
an
German-
amazing collection.
a Ger-
What
yeah.
have you got in the collection, Dave?
Okay.
The Shrine of the Ducati, we call it, the garage.
Okay, I got an XG Arval, a V4 SP, a Panigale, a 1098S Superbike with quite a few mods on it, a 916, ST4, which I've modified into a cafe racer, and a 2021 Multistrada V4S, RM465 81, which I've done a full resto on.
That's the best one.
And my favourite bike, a QA50 Amigo from 1970.
True.
That's
That's another one you got to
yeah, that was
restore.
like my brother's first bike, and I've got to do a resto on that. And
Yeah, I was.
And plus, I'm going to have that 95 RM 250.
I wouldn't send it there, Gio. I don't think.
Well, it's the only way I can get it restored, so I've got to do it.
No, I'll do a resto on that. That'd be good. And doing it at Jerry McGrath.
Book a return ticket with the bike, I reckon, when you send it up there. I just remember being a kid walking through James's house and seeing bikes inside on trickle charges and seeing that RM up on a stand. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever and sort of sparked my interest in bikes, I should say.
Yeah, yes.
So that's my memories of growing up, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's right. It was, a lot of good fun. But like I was saying before, that, when we first started, right? I mean, I think the road racing thing. I was alluding to that incident on the freeway.
Oh yeah, so Dave's got so he's going to his first road racing.
Yeah, it was that, 19. Well, I was working in a motorcycle shop in Elizabeth Street, and back in those days there was what they call black meetings, and Melbourne University.
You're not allowed to say that these days.
Is that Lewis Hamilton's corporate thing?
It was an unsanctioned ACU event. So we were working in a shop, and these girls came in and said, "Oh, we're running a motorcycle race at Calder." Right,
Calder
Park,
yeah,
right?
okay.
We go, do you want to go? We said, what's the go? Just come up, roll up, pay whatever money, and you're in. And Elizabeth Street in those days was just chockers. It was heaps of bike shops. Everyone got involved. So we thought, so I got my mates there and my brother and so on. So we go over to my house, and John had a Katana 1100. I had a VF 750F, which in 1983 a Honda were using as their superbike. And mine was a stocker, of course, and I'm ripping bits off it, trying to make it lighter, and we loaded on a trailer the next morning and we're driving down the fucking freeway and my old man's V8 Commodore, and John's driving, and obviously he's going shit, and I look around and our trailer's overtaking us on the Doncaster freeway, the two bikes on it. And it goes across all the traffic, and let half of the backman stops. We pull over there, and we stop and just pissed ourselves laughing because it was all okay, right? So I looked at the bike, and the brake lever had smashed off. So we go from there into Jack's shop at Spot On, where I used to work. We ripped a lever off one of the bikes on the floor, put it on, went all the way out to Calder, ripped the bikes off to start. Nothing, it was dead. All the other guys who I was with, all their bikes are running. And we realised that when I stripped everything off in my haste, I took half the electrical system out because I had no clue, and it was dead. I then got in my old man's car, drove about 100 miles an hour all the way back to Doncaster.
Jesus.
Picked up the electrical system, drove all the way back, put it in. Absolutely. I totally missed practice, never been around a track before. And I went up to the guys and said, look, I just got back, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. Can I get out and do a few laps, behind this race, right? And they said, nah, you fucking got to go in there. So I line up, no practice, don't even know where the track went in a race. So I'm running off the track, I'm braking way too late, trying to get my braking points, come around a glow weave, last corner, just big power slide out, laid it down the road, slid it up the road. And I thought it was the fucking best thing I've ever done.
That's awesome.
So, I loved it from there. But
so what age were you then?
I would have been 22 maybe. It was a late starter. Then it was about a year later, I thought, how can I do this road racing thing? It's so expensive. And me and my mate Steve bought a GSXR 750, like the ones here, that 85 I was telling about. And I'm riding that into work. And one day I'm up Victoria Parade past the CUB. This guy pulls out in front of me. I smashed into the side of him, over the handlebars in a van, a high-ace van. And I bounced off it, and I got up and I thought, fuck, I'm all right. I'm not even a scratch. But my bike was written off, technically, right? So I thought, okay, with what they say, with adversity comes opportunity. And I decided once the insurance paid out the bike, I bought the bike back off the insurance company, as you could in those days, and it was just cosmetic stuff, whacked some numbers on it. With the rest of the money, I bought a XBGSU V8, whacked the bike, and I entered, I had a racing license, so I entered the Western Underwriters Superbikes for my first race, right? So
it's a very Dave Shaw thing to do.
Yeah, and there was those days there was no track days. So I've been up to Winton before, but never to ride. So I go up there, I'm in the scrutineering, never raced before, a proper race. And I give him my license, I go, oh, David Shaw. I said, yeah. He goes, oh, number one. Pole position. And I go, oh, okay, this is how it goes, right? And unbeknownst to me, there was another guy, David Shaw, in the club who was like a B grader, right? And a bit of a gun. They thought that was me. And I was expecting to be up the back. So I'm on front row, reverse. This is the reverse at Winton, right? So I'm on the front, I'm thinking, oh, fuck, I was shitting myself, right? And we took off, and I'm going, blah, 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 down the track, and I slowly worked my way back to 8th. in that thing. But that gave me a good opportunity for, in those races, like they're 5-lap races, 6-lap. If you're not in the front 2 rows, you've got no chance. So that gave me some good positioning for the next few races to get up there, and I started winning races, not long after that. However, just the first part of that, though, I just jumped at when we did practice the first time we went out, because one of my mates said, it's a bit slippery out here, I'm like, okay. So I'm out there, I'm coming out power sliding out of the corners, and I'm thinking, shit, this is unbelievable. Because I'm motocross background, it wasn't a big deal. Anyway, these guys have come up beside me on their bikes and they're pointing at me, and I'm looking around and there's smoke pouring off the back of the bike. I come around, they got my number black flagged, I'm off the track. I said, what the fuck's going on? They said, you got oil coming out and it's bloody burning on the exhaust. And my oil filter had come undone, so it was dropping oil, so I had to fix that up. So, I really had a tough, into that first session. But after that, I had the jigsaw and then, did okay on that. Running street tyres, stock pipes, stock fingers, I had no money. I even had the toolkit in under the seat still. I forgot to take it out, so the weight thing wasn't a big issue.
Yeah, not saving weight.
Yeah, then I got onto Cosways, sort of sponsored me on a GPX 750R, and that was like a weapon. And I'd won the first C-grade Superbike title, which I didn't even know was a Victorian Championship at the time.
Yeah, I found that out actually in Philip this year. I thought you had like 8-round season.
No.
It was one race.
I just turned up.
Still respect, a lot of respect.
No. Thank you. Hang on.
You found out you won the Victorian Championship after you finished the race.
Exactly right. So I go in this race. I do this thing and I won it. And I thought, that's cool. And I'm lining up again for another race because I'm sort of ticking them over. And I'm in the chute and all of a sudden they're calling my name up for presentation. And of course, those days I had no one helping me. I had to lean my bike up against a fence, jump off, run over, do this presentation, do a bit of a speech.
Kiss a grid girl?
Kiss a good girl. Give my mate a trophy and stuff. I said, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. I had to jump back on the bike and do another race.
And that's how you do it, Troy Bayliss.
Yeah, that's right. Foot in the hard yards.
But then the next year, because I got promoted to B grade at that point, and I won that as well the next year. But, that was... then I got to A grade, and then things.
Is it a similar setup now with the junior categories? Is it like C grade, B grade, A grade?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
They're all different club events.
Yeah, exactly. And it's but once you get to that, A and B were always running together anyway, but things got really tough because back in those days, all the guys who worked in the bike shops, we all raced. We had Melbourne Suzuki would have a team and would do 2-hour endurance racing and stuff. And it was really cheap. RC30s come out in '87, changed the world. Those things, like they were like super factory bikes. People were spending $10,000 on, which is not much now, but back then, on Olin's forks and Trek radiators and all this stuff. And it just really. Where we were doing it on a shoestring, had no money, and you could be half competitive and have a good time, but but that's just the nature of it, isn't it? It's
that's it.
How
That's
it goes.
motorsport.
Yeah,
It's still like that now. Still like that now.
100%.
These
Bigger
factory
scale.
big money come through, and then sort of the fun of it sort of goes out of it. But that's motorsport.
Well, it's like Ayrton Senna always said when he was interviewed about his best part of racing for him. It was like he said go-karts.
Yeah. The rawness.
The rawness of it, and there was a bit of rawness to it like that.
But imagine you crashing the bike or the oil filter falls off. You got to go back to the pits to fix it yourself.
I tell you a story about that. I was on the GP, Mark 1 GPX when Gavin gave me the bike. It had Campagnolo 18-inch front wheel, Dymax, I think it might have been an 8-inch rear. It had shit tyres. And everyone was...
Chang Chings?
No, it was just old school tyres that Gavin had a heap of them there. And I remember I was out at Calder and I packed this in... Bobby Phillips was riding the Kawasaki there and he saw the tyres and I think he felt sorry for me. He said, here's a couple of second-hand tyres to put on the bike, which were a lot better. But I ended up crashing the bike, a big high side, and I destroyed the wheels. And even though Gavin had sponsored me on a bike, he wasn't going to pay for all this damage I was doing. And I... Get this right, I'm a young guy. I go to the bank up the road and he said, what can I do for you, David? Obviously you want to buy a house or something. I said, no, I actually want to buy some wheels for my racing bike. and after listening to a lecture about me being irresponsible, I said, yeah, but I still want $2,000 for these wheels.
Far out.
So you just had no money. So I borrowed $2,000 to buy these Mavics 17-inch wheels. I could then run Michelin radials, which are the hot thing, 3.5, and it was a I think a 5.5-inch rim on the rear. I put that in plus a white power rear shock, which was now WP for obvious reasons.
Bring it back, white power. Bring it back.
But that just changed that bike, and it was just so much better. And it was good.
It
was $2,000 well spent, I thought. So I went back to the bank manager, showed my trophy, and said, "Well, stick this." I stand by that.
Yeah, I back it.
You would have to be one of the most passionate motorcycle people I think we've all ever met.
Yeah, well,
you worked in the industry for 30 plus years. You still love it. Just went on a 5,000 kilometre round trip bike ride. And you said you could turn back and do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know many people like that.
I don't know.
30
either.
years in the industry alone.
So Dave rode down from Harvey Bay all the way down to Phillip Island.
Yes.
And back again.
And every year you do that?
And every year. And you went the scenic route as well.
Yeah, the back roads, B roads. So, I had some friends from Bundaberg. Actually, I think Dave Holmes, he watches the show, and his wife. I rode down with them the first few days, and then caught up some mates in Sydney, and then the last few days on the way back, which was good.
Yeah, it's funny. I sort of felt like, oh, geez, because I remember it being like Thursday, and I'm thinking, Dave's still not home, and I was like, I felt bad for you. And then talking to you the other night, you're like, no, I had the best time ever. I'll go and do it again. I was like, different breed. Different breed. And then just back it up every day. It's amazing. So.
And plus the trips in Europe, we did the Alps there.
The Stelvio.
I've done Stelvio twice.
Dolomites?
Dolomites there, and I was just telling people how good that is over there compared to Australia, or even like Switzerland. You get $10,000 fine if you get busted for speeding. But in Italy, we were coming down through the Dolomites. Not really super fast, 120, 140 maybe down through there. And the cops were there with their radar gun and see us coming and just put the gun down by their side, let us go past.
That's awesome.
It's different. It's a different thing in Italy, right? We go to Switzerland, we're coming out of there and couldn't wait to hit the Italian border because, you're watching your speed everywhere you go. But it's
$10,000 fine.
We spoke to some dude from the Netherlands who was there and he just got done for that. And I think it was about $8,000.
Jesus, stuff that.
And being foreigners there, they will make you pay on the spot.
No.
If you don't, they'll confiscate your bike.
Oh, of course, because otherwise you're just going to go to Italy and never pay it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Switzerland's really tough, but beautiful. But you've got to get Austria and Germany and Italy that goes for that. But
on the Grand Prix scene, who's your favourite over the many years of watching?
Well,
who's got the most talent?
My hero back when I was riding was Freddie Spencer.
Why is that?
I think the 250-500 double is something that is unbelievable when you think about it, because he's a guy who's they're on two-strokers and he gets on a 250 bike, do testing on that, race against, and these guys who were like career 250 racers, they weren't like up-and-comers, they were like, Carlos Lovato and all those guys who were like, good racers. Wins it, cleans them up, then jumps on a 500 that day and then cleans that up as well. I just think that... And they actually banned it after that.
Yeah.
For me, even though he's a triple world champion, but, sure, there's doing the 5 world titles and Rossi and all that. I think it's just that double for me. And, of course, it was in my era. It was something special. I always looked up to him for that.
Haven't mentioned Marquez, interestingly.
Oh no, later term for sure. Later in what I call the MotoGP era rather than 500s. Right? There's definitely a difference there. Marquez for sure. And I remember watching that when he was doing Moto 2 when he was starting last.
Yeah. We were just talking about that before. He went around like 15 people in 3 corners.
Yeah, man.
In Valencia.
And that's why I think next year he's. I think my money's on him. And actually, Mark Marquez is. My mate Ollie. I know Ollie.
Yeah, we miss Ollie.
I reckon I've taken about 5 slabs of Peronis off him on those bets of Marquez winning. So
Yeah, you have. Definitely have.
No, so I think he's going to be the man.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm super excited to have hot takes with Dave on here.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
hot takes. Let's go.
So people have their hot takes. They write into us of what they think.
You know that, surely.
Yeah, I've written some. I've never get mentioned.
Sometimes I got to simplify things for you. So.
Of course. Okay. I'm just an old white guy.
Privilege.
Hey, Trump, we're back now.
Yeah, baby.
I got to sit back because I don't want to block Dad.
Yeah.
I'll hold this. All right, so this is the one we missed. So at
Oh, yes.
Drayson Silva,
Yep.
he said, "I think you might be American. Y'all got to talk about my old hot take. Hot take: Rossi winning on the Yamaha in 04 was more impressive than Casey Stoner winning on the Ducati in 2007. Closest Yamaha the year before Rossi showed up 234 points out of first." In 2003, closest Ducati the year before Stoner showed up was 23 points out of first place in 2006, which I like those stats. That's really good.
Yeah. So he's saying the Ducati was more competitive in 06 than the Yamaha was in 03.
03, yeah.
Which is probably fair. And it's a fair call.
I don't know if that's too much of a hot take. I think Rossi's what he did in 04 from 03 going from that Honda.
Yeah.
Because
that Yamaha.
Psychologically, Casey went from LCR to Ducati. So he's just kind of jumping up anyway.
Yeah,
where
that's
Rossi went from the best bike ever made to
A bucket of bolts.
a bucket of bolts. So it's a great call from him. And I think, for me anyway, as a neutral, that
Rossi and Kyalami? Was that?
Yeah, Kyalami, when he
South
famously
Africa.
kissed the front of the
bike. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, he definitely had a bone to pick there.
What was
and it was against Biaggi on his old bike. Like, he can't make
You can't
that
script
up.
it.
Yeah, you can't get any better. One thing is with Stoner in 07 was his teammate was so nowhere.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be the big thing.
Yeah, so that was a big thing for me watching that, and we've always talked about this, was like the difference between your teammate, and it was so vast. And I'm not sure in 04. I mean, Ross's teammate was...
I believe it was Arbe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
who
so.
didn't do much.
Nah, not like Rossi.
Yeah, it's
You
not...
know.
Yeah.
Or was it Arbe? It was...
We had this
it was
conversation the other day.
a red... Remember, it was a red Yamaha. I only just figured this out. It was a Fortuna Yamaha,
Yeah.
and he was a
yeah.
Goulars Yamaha.
Yeah.
And then the next year, I definitely know it was Arbe. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's a great take. I mean, I think that will go down in history as the most amazing move in MotoGP history.
Yeah.
With,
and one of the most
what
amazing
if,
ones in
what if
motorsport.
Martin wins a championship for Aprilia next
That's a
year?
great
It
question.
It will not happen.
Okay, but what if if he does do that, then I don't know if it can ever. It's close. It really is close because that Ducati's something else. It's up there. It's up. If he wins the
Of course
title
it's
next
up there.
year, it
But what
would,
did Aprilia
it would
do
be
this?
incredible.
They won one race. They won one sprint, Lacia Spargo, Barcelona, and
And
they
they-
won one race, Vinales in
Coda.
That's it.
Yep.
So, and did Yamaha win a race? No, they didn't.
No,
of course they didn't.
No.
Because they were
didn't win-
nowhere.
they weren't winning anything until
Honda
when
won-
Rainey was around.
Honda won every
Yeah.
race, didn't they, that year? We all but one.
All but one, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. And the Ducati won the other one at Barcelona. Funny enough.
Just on Yamaha, though, I think I've been obviously watching Quadraro, and
Yeah.
I think he's done an outstanding effort this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think obviously he knows something. He signed that contract, obviously not just for the money, but I think they've got something.
Yeah,
Coming.
hopefully. I think with the
know.
satellite team now
Yeah.
as well, it's going to be a big difference.
Hopefully. I reckon the new rules is where it's going to be at.
Yeah.
At Braden_Hardcastle. Republica to buy a VR46 style ranch and have its members race for supremacy. I love that idea, and we've got the funder right next to me. Is he funding the ranch?
Investor.
You can invest in some fun.
Only if I win.
Fine, sure.
I actually mentioned this last year, if you don't remember.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
let's buy a block of land and turn it into something. But that would be definitely, that's future.
That's
endeavors.
goals. That's goals.
Yeah, motorcycle track, little hut, in the middle of nowhere would be cool.
Yeah.
Complex, a motorsport complex.
Yeah, motorsport complex.
Motorsport Republica land.
Yeah, Republica land. Exactly
Yeah.
right. A little Vale track.
We'll have Trump flags everywhere.
Actually, I went past Valentino Rossi's ranch.
Yes.
When we were in Trevulia, we did Magello and.
Can you see the ranch all
Yeah,
from the road?
we drove.
Yeah.
We were driving from there to go to down to San Marino, and we stopped and saw it on the side, so we took photos of it. And
I'm
stuff
sure
from the
people just
distance.
stop there and watch the whole time.
Yeah, well,
surely.
you can.
Yeah, you
Absolutely,
can watch. Yeah,
see
and it's
it.
all lit up at night as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Jim's Mowing Queensland.
No way.
Yep. Yes, way.
Actual?
Harvey Bay.
Can you
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
officially?
Yeah, Fishiali.
Oh,
Jim's
Jim.
Mowing Queensland. We've made it. Aero looks cool and isn't the problem. Tire pressure is.
Aero does not look cool.
Aero does not look cool. It used to.
It did at the start.
When it
But
was
then they
minimal.
went crazy.
Yeah.
Now, you remember what these swing arms on the KDMs? you've got that little wing coming off them now.
Yeah,
and
it's
crazy.
But sometimes that aero, I think that some of those rear inlets they have, just to put off the dirty air of the bike behind. It's not actually to help that bike at all.
Yeah, but we were watching that though. It was slipstreaming, and it didn't seem to make any difference.
Well,
I
it
think it's all
depends.
track dependent.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
it depends who the bike is. It was Marquez on a 25 less horsepower Ducati.
Oh,
and
you
he never
saw
passed
that.
him.
We mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Like the big difference. 25 horsepower is
Massive, yeah, of course. And speaking on those winglets, I just, we were talking about, we guys talked about how it all began and started.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at a RGB 500 two-stroker that Barry Sheen rode, and there was wings on that.
Yeah.
That the Suzuki were actually
Interesting.
back in the late 70s or the mid 70s. We're experimenting with that.
Suzuki has never experimented since, unfortunately.
No, very conservative. Very conservative, the Japanese.
The best looking Suzuki's, I think, is the Lucky Strikes and the Pepsis
Yeah.
from Swansea.
yeah, I
They
agree.
looked amazing.
Rizzler's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rizzler's good. They make some of the best looking bikes, that's for sure. At our friend It's Cold Papa, Aaron Canet for the 2025 Moto2 title, then off to Pramac Yamaha for 2026. And I think that's a good shout.
Great shout.
I don't reckon Canet will ever make it to GP.
Oh, that's a hot take, Daniele.
He's had a great year, Daniel. Great year.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think he'll ever get there.
I think there's an anti-tattoo thing going on, isn't it?
Oh,
There was
Lu-
talks about that.
Yeah, there
There
was.
actually was.
Lockie
Yeah.
Boyle jumped on board, Canet.
Big fan of Canet.
Because the
How
they
old
look the
is
same.
he?
Canet, he'd be mid-20s.
Yeah.
He's been
He'd be
around for a while.
similar to-
23, 24, I reckon. He'd be similar to Quattararo, wouldn't he?
Yeah, about that. But yeah, I don't think he'll make it to GP, unfortunately.
I
I
reckon-
think he's going to be one of those ones that gets
Slips through the
just sort
cracks?
of, slip through.
Oh, I hope not. I think he's got a couple
Is
years
it
in
going?
him.
I mean, he's been riding really well, and
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
but a lot of
But,
them do. There's only so many spots.
That's the thing. That's the tough
and
thing.
it's not only that; it's what you can bring to the team, money wise,
a big thing that-
marketing,
yeah.
situation. It's all that. I mean, it's not just the ability because they've all got ability. I guess.
Yeah.
Well, look at Furman, right? As soon as Ducati signed him, bang, Oakley jumped straight on board. He was ahead of their marketing campaign, half their marketing campaigns. He was the face of them. So, they're taking absolutely everything into consideration. And I don't think people are looking at Canet going, oh, we can market this guy, or,
Yeah.
he might speak his mind a little bit too much. And
Which is
which is
unfair.
unfortunate because you need those characters.
Yeah.
And they're the guys that make the sport great.
Yes.
Exactly. That's Luke Miller. Maverick, this is not even a hot take. Maverick will top the test on Tuesday on the KDM.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
It's paying $1.01. It's his championship.
Which
might
would
as, well
still-
he might as well wear a number 1 for testing.
He should.
Free reign.
Yeah.
If he does go fastest, though, that is quite impressive on the new bike. I'm just going to say that.
What?
Don't say
Not
that.
really, because I doubt Pecco, Martin, and Marquez or those guys would be trying to do much. They'd be wrecked from fighting for a championship.
Yeah,
And
true.
Everyone
partying.
else would just be chilling
Martin,
out.
I think Marquez is going to... He might put on a little bit of a show.
Vinales will be fresh as a daisy for
Yeah.
doing fuck all season.
It's a very good point. Very good point.
We still love him, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he adds some
Something
sugar and
about- there's
spice.
something about him.
yeah.
There is something about him.
I
that
think Marquez
Mav.
will go. I think he'll go fast. He'll be the,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he wants to stamp his authority.
100%.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And just, it's
And
all
it really
about,
showed with him lack of celebrating with Martin and that sort of thing. It really showed his focus for next year.
Well, I think we spoke about it on the pod or something. I don't think they're too privy of each other.
No,
but
they aren't. They definitely aren't.
just going back away from hot takes, I completely forgot to mention it. This year's the first time each category has been won by a Rookies Cup winner.
Yeah, great call.
I forgot to mention that.
Great
sorry.
call.
Yeah.
That just shows you how good the Red Bull Rookies Cup is. Another Red Bull
Great-
sponsorship.
Great
Jesus.
thing for the sport.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. At Tim Bellum. Half the time, it sounds like you guys don't know what you're talking about and have some of, and it cuts off there.
that's why
How's
they've
this-
got me here.
How's this, Tim? Turn us off and
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yes.
Well, what was he supposed to say, though?
I don't know.
Well, you can't.
That was the hot take. I just thought it was funny to read it out.
But he might have said something good after that, but it cut off.
Can you click on it?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. You can only put so much in the question. I don't think you realise that, unfortunately.
Well, that's a bot.
That was a bot.
That just shows you, that's a Moto PG bot. That one.
At Zealy _. Why are teams going for experience over talent in Moto 2? I think money. I think marketing.
But what do you mean experience? It's more experienced riders. But
So like a Jack Miller.
Moto 2, you said?
Moto 2 or MotoGP?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I thought he said
Why are
Moto2.
teams
Moto 2.
going for experience over talent in Moto 2? Oh yeah, true.
Oh, why are they taking experience over the talent in Moto 2?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
But that's been going on for a few years now.
Yeah.
It has been. Acosta's been the only one in the last few years has come up and done anything.
Yeah, but there's still their teams are keeping
More
you know,
Badallis
more
and
Badallis.
Millers and those sort of
Yeah.
thing. I think, definitely money and marketing and, definitely.
Just on Acosta, what do you guys think of him? I thought he did a great job finishing 5th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I think
Amazing.
you had predictions at the start about him. I think you predicted him to be top.
Podium. I said he would have a couple podiums, and
you
he did
guys-
that in
yeah.
his
Yeah, I
second race.
I didn't think him was go as well as he did.
Yeah.
I never, and then that first race of the year, he was outstanding. I think he finished. Did he crash in the end, or he finished 5th or 6th? or something?
His opening.
Yeah,
laps
just-
were
and
incredible.
I just
His
saw-
first 3 or 4 rounds were quite good. Then he obviously
Yeah.
crashed.
Yeah,
and then he
he
came
was-
back again.
Did rookie things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly right.
I'd love to go back. Actually, we'll do that on our video, our season review. We'll go back to what our predictions were and see
Yes.
how close we were.
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting.
Just on that question, it's interesting. I don't see the point in keeping these guys because it's not like you're developing a bike. You're only developing a bike for a year or two until new regs come along. Give the young kids a crack and then develop a bike around them
When they're used to it.
when they're used to it for the new regulations.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Looking into
And,
the
you know,
future.
And Primac going to Yamaha for the first time as well. They want some experience to,
And
yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Like you said, there's obviously money that they bring in from elsewhere and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So a team like that would definitely need it. But look, I'd swing the other way and go, that talent pool's way too deep in Moto 2.
Primac, though, I think the experience is one rider, one old head. I think that's always the way it should be in a team. One old head,
So
and
who's
then,
on
and a
Primac?
young gun.
Oliveira
and Miller.
Yeah.
And that's,
The two-
I don't know,
yeah.
man. It's a tough team.
It's a tough team. It's
Like it's not.
You look, they're going to be 15th place next year. Let's be honest.
Unless it rains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it rains, they're on for a 1-2.
Yeah, they are. That's a very good point.
Well, yeah. We all know Quattararo just raced out of his skin this year, so
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
100%.
I think he's going to be a real one to watch.
yeah.
I'm excited about
If-
the V4.
yeah, that's right. If Yamaha can get that,
But is that coming next year or the year after?
I'm pretty certain that's next year.
Tomorrow.
It wouldn't be, surely.
No, I think it's the year after, James.
I don't know if
think
they'll
it
develop
is.
it that fast.
Yeah, I think it's the year
Yeah.
after. But like we mentioned a few weeks ago, they're making that development, and we're seeing it with Rins as well.
Yeah.
So
Rins
they
had
are making a
yeah.
step forward
Rins had half a
with
shot
their
up,
engine.
Yeah.
You see
At
Rins
least
walking around the
10
pits,
times.
remember at Phillip Pond, like he can hardly walk that
No,
guy.
I know, poor guy.
You know.
I love Alex Rins.
I really like it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
same.
like it. I really wish he could, I think it'd be great to
massive
see him
fan,
up there. A
massive
big
fan.
fan, yeah,
It-
definitely.
it's going to be interesting back on that for Moto 2 talent because there's going to, in a couple of years' time, there's going to be at least 4 spots that are opening up. If you think about it, maybe 5.
Yeah, easy.
So they're going to have to dig and dig deep.
Yeah.
So
It's good. Great
interesting.
point. Jack Giles, the way Martin has matured from last season to this one is incredible. Noticeably stronger. Which is a great take. We know that.
Yeah, some
agree.
people. So I was talking to some people today. A lot of people think that Martin deserved the championship last year more than this year, but it's mistakes, and that's the big thing with this year is mistakes from Martin in 23, and the mistakes from Bagnaia this
Yeah, that's
year.
right.
That's been the difference in both the championships.
I think the look, Bagnaia can ride. They all can ride, but what happens is pressure gets to you.
Yeah.
And
God,
you-
Bagnaia made some silly mistakes.
and,
this year.
it has to come down just the pressure from
But
for what's-
crashing on the last lap of the sprint, Barcelona,
3-second lead.
3-second lead.
Yeah.
That's just it doesn't happen.
Unexcusable.
It's concentration.
Yeah,
know,
that's
but
right.
it's-
It's all those little
yeah.
things.
When champions lose their titles, though, you look at Marquez 2015. He made that many errors.
Yeah, that's right.
Lorenzo did the same thing.
Rossi.
Broke his
But then
finger.
when they come
like-
back, they're untouchable.
Exactly. So
Yeah, is
So
that your
it's
prediction?
It's a dangerous
Martin
prospect.
Yeah.
Martin even said himself that he wasn't ready last year.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
You know,
Mentally,
yeah,
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 which is a big thing to say. It's
Yeah, massive.
Good thing to come out with. At Matt Stevens, Motorsport Republica live watch along of the MotoGP race, Joe Rogan's fight companion style.
Something we should look into.
We
for
need
next
to look
year.
into it. I've kind of had a bit of a dabble in like how you work it out,
Yeah.
like live and connecting the mics up. Plus, then we need better technology. That's a Curdy thing. To then like save all our audio and stuff. But we definitely want to do that, and we have talked about that.
That's,
So that would be
that's
cool.
actually a good idea.
Any
Yeah.
potential sponsors listening, that'll
Yeah.
help.
That will definitely help.
It gets us the tech for it.
Yeah, exactly right. That will definitely help. And we want to do that, especially it works as well. It's good for like Sunday nights,
Yeah.
People definitely out watching the races at 10 p.m. And we got a lot of messages last night of people like, oh, it's so good to see you guys up watching the race at 1 a.m. because we're putting out content.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, all my mates are falling asleep and stuff like that. And we're all up obviously watching.
Yeah,
it.
that was a nice comment from one of the fellas.
Old
It's
mate.
actually interesting on that because the AFL do that. Like Richmond or Collingwood will have their
Don't say Collingwood's
fan,
disgusting.
their fan. Yeah, I know. But their fan, they'll get KB out there doing a thing for Richmond. They'll do a what do they call it?
Like a fan.
A fan commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Yeah, and that'd be the similar sort of thing set up. But you obviously there's always 7-second delays, and you have to manage and someone when you're watching something on TV.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, let's
a good
definitely
idea.
look into it.
Yeah. I like it though. At Riddler Guts, this is a lot of Motorsport Republica ones. When are we going to get Republica asking questions at press conferences?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we had that access this year.
No, we
yeah,
didn't. I don't think we did.
No, I think we did. I think we had that access, but we might have been a little bit too shy.
No,
Yeah.
we looked at the passes though. and our
Nah, it just
passes-
said no filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really
I
a
think-
grey area.
And you can't go in there, Tom, and say what's your favourite colour.
You imagine I think it's Superbikes to be free for all.
Yeah, I think there should be.
Yeah,
I think the local
Yeah.
bloody pizza maker can go in there and talk about whatever. Seriously.
I mean,
next-
we're trying to do our little bit with our little one-offs, and
yeah,
with our one-on-ones.
which was really good this year.
And I guess as well, we're trying to be a bit different. We don't want to ask the same boring old questions.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Like we like long form content, not
Yeah.
just a shitty question about
Yeah, that's right.
how do you feel after FP2? Because like,
And,
no
yeah.
offense, I don't really care, and I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of people care at the same time. And
the
there's
other
that much
thing is
content out there
you
about
leave,
it.
You leave that to the professionals to do it.
There's
Yeah.
just so much out there
Yeah.
where we want to know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when we did the center pod,
Yeah.
how good was it talking about the emotions of racing? And
Yeah.
you
It
find
dived
out a bit
deeper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
find out a bit more about
And
them.
especially like you guys do really well is find out what makes them tick and what they like doing outside the sport.
Yeah,
that's right.
exactly.
Because everyone always talks about the bike, and that's all good, but it's nice to know what other hobbies they do or something like that gets them out of that.
Yeah,
that
everyone's
thing.
got something.
Because it is like a work for them, and they need to get that break.
Any advice?
And no one really asks those questions.
Well, it makes it more relatable for everyone else, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, getting off the
yeah,
script,
yeah.
exactly, Cody.
that's it.
At Matt Stevens again, Lawrence Brothers on the pod for Oz SX weekends. If anyone knows them, please reach
out.
Reach
That worked
out.
out last time,
Well,
didn't
it
it?
worked out for our next guests
Yeah.
coming up, but
Next week.
yeah, if anyone does know them, please reach out. We'd love to get them on and pick their brains at the same time. Give
Yeah.
back to the Aussie community. At Tom F145, Iogura 2025 Rookie of the Year.
Great call.
Who is it? Who are the rookies next year?
Chandra,
Chandra.
Gura,
Aldeguer.
and Furman.
I'm going Gura.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I'm with that.
I reckon Furman's going to flop, to be honest.
I fucking hope so. I'm off him hardcore.
Tell us what you really
I know, don't mix in the words.
There's none with Daniel. At the Flamboyant Chibi, this will be the last race Martin wins until he changes bikes.
Oh, it's harsh. It's harsh.
That's harsh. Nah, he's still a
that
talent.
means that means we're all questioning his talent, but his
No,
talent's there.
his talent's
Yeah,
there, but
so-
I don't know if the bike's going to be there.
yeah, but
That's the question, though.
Yeah, that's-
is
yeah,
the
that's
bike.
the million-dollar
Cody, what are you
question.
saying?
Half the time I reckon I'll be there, half the other time it's...
well, we saw
Yeah.
that this year with Aprilia. They needed cold conditions for the bike to work. I mean, Vinales was absolutely fucking nowhere last night.
No,
but-
he was 20th
Yeah,
when I
I
saw
know.
him.
And
Yeah,
what-
but he...
an old man
probably wouldn't
Espargaro
give a
putting up
shit.
there, but we'll see. I mean, They might shine at certain tracks like your Codas or your.
You're gonna have two
Barcelonas.
young guys that are really wanting to push on this bike too.
Yeah.
and
You know,
prove
you're not-
themselves
yeah.
for different reasons.
Because we haven't
Exactly
talked about Bezecchi at all for next year, have we?
Bezecchi is
Starting on Fraud Watch.
He's been a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
I think.
Just couldn't get his head around the GP 23.
That's what happens when you stay loyal. He should have taken that 24.
100%.
Yeah,
You know, it could have been a slightly different ball game.
He would have
you
done
know.
more than Mortadeli.
yeah, with 25 horsepower, you know.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. And someone like anyone in that grid needs all the edge they can get.
That's it.
Doesn't matter who you are. Buddy Rossi ruined his career. Public apology.
The VR46 Colt.
Jim Jones, yeah.
_Melbourne. If Marc Marquez smashes PB's Pecco Bagnaia next year, does it taint Bagnaia's reputation as a champion?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, but it just shows that he's not the most talented on the grid.
But we haven't said he's the most talented on the grid.
So what's the question?
If Marc Marquez...
Does it taint his championships?
If he wins.
If it does it taint Bagnaia's reputation as a champion?
I think it does slightly. If he wipes the floor with him next year, then yes. If it's close, then no. That's my opinion.
I reckon Bagnaia is going to be like a second-rate team member to Marquez. You know, I really do, because watching him, you know, on that bike, which is not factory, really, you know, push it, and you know, I just think he's going to be, you know, like they say, you know, cue the Jaws music.
Yeah.
I
think-
don't know. I'm sticking up for Bagnaia.
I know he's great. I mean,
He's talented.
Would it, the question is, would it taint? I would say a minuscule amount. Okay, this is how I'd look at it. If you're a racing purist, I don't think it does, because these guys are so good that they deserve it. But if you're just a watcher and, you know, you're not that, you don't ride bikes, or you're just a fan, it would. For those casual fans, I guess you could say. And that's probably the only way I could explain it, because if Marc Marquez goes and wipes the floor of everyone and just say he wins 15 races, I don't think he's going to do that.
No,
I'm not even convinced he's going to win the title. But if that happens, then yeah, it really shows that MotoGP is such a technological sport where you need that edge, and Bagnaia's had that edge. But Bagnaia can only race against who he races,
That's
you know,
right.
and
yeah,
he
of
won
course.
those titles.
100%, and kudos to him. However, I think we have missed here is next year, we're seeing the dynamics in the team with Bagnaia and Marquez, especially if Marquez is starting to take big wins. You remember when it was Lorenzo and
the
Rossi, and they had that wall, and you know, you get two massive egos, two world champions in the same team. Normally, most teams will have their prime rider and their secondary rider, right? Usually, but you get two prime riders. It's. I think it's a recipe for fireworks.
But this is where Ducati's fucked up in the past before with Dovi and Lorenzo.
Yeah.
You know, same thing. I don't think it's going to taint his championships, though. You're not comparing the same things. Like, I love Pecco and he's fantastic, but you're talking about Marquez, who's an 8-time world champion. You're not really comparing apples with apples.
But
That's a great point, though. That's a great point.
Realistically, everyone goes on, oh, there's aliens and this and that. And yes, Marquez is, at the moment, probably the last one, because we can't talk for Acosta yet and we can't talk for Alonso. I wouldn't call Martin an alien. I wouldn't call Pecco an alien. I wouldn't call Quartararo an alien.
But if Beggs comes next year and beats Marquez on that bike,
Huge.
he's in that category.
But
Then.
then you got to look. Then you got to look at him, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
And you got to go, okay.
Wow,
do we
he's-
consider him one now?
Well, you have to.
I would.
Yeah.
He's got to rein back all those mistakes.
Yeah.
It's Marquez's. He's had his time now to get back from his injuries. He's had time now to get used to the Ducati. Now is his time to actually make it all happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do it next year,
He won't do it.
Next year's his best shot.
he's going to have to do it like Martin had to do it this year.
That's right.
And I think he's hungry enough and has got the
CUNT
going for him, as they all do. But I think, you know, like you watch Tadozzi, you're watching him when he's losing it and does those.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
just.
yeah,
You know,
he's
you
in
don't-
awe of him.
He's
Yeah.
just incredible.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think he's amazing,
And people know that.
I honestly think that the problem. I think there's going to be more crashes with Ducati next year between those two than victories.
like
between
in
those two.
collisions with each other.
Collisions
and,
with each other because they're both going to be fighting for that
Yeah.
number one position.
That's right.
Which is going to open up Martin with that Aprilia, whether it continues to work or if it has a dud day, it could help him out.
If he picks up the pieces at the end.
I also think Bagnaia is unflappable. It's just at the moment, he's mentally, I think he's just, like, I don't think he's going to let Marquez in his head.
No,
I don't
so.
see that yet. There's other riders out there that happens,
He's pretty cool.
He's pretty bloody cool, calm, and
he's so
collected.
cool.
He's got that side of the game.
Dialed by the
Dialed,
same
yeah.
guys.
He's but the best at it.
Where if he was going
Unbelievable.
up against Martin, I reckon he would destroy Martin.
Yeah.
In the headspace, I mean.
100%.
next year.
Yeah.
Well, of
With
course he
all
will,
the
because-
mind games,
Yeah,
well,
that's
he
right.
destroyed him last night, right? Even though Martin knew he didn't have to. I mean, I was saying to James last night, wouldn't it be great if that race came down to the whoever
Yeah.
won was going to win it, because
Yeah.
you would see a different race maybe.
100%.
Martin was playing it safe in third, had a dream run, but Bagnaia, when he has to do it, he'll absolutely go out there and just kick ass.
Well,
And I think,
he's
I
so
think
cold.
that stemmed from the race before. Those 3 laps that they had together.
Yeah.
And I think Martin would have thought, oh, shit, maybe not to get too close here because he will just keep coming.
He's
Yeah.
had those moments, though, Bagnaia, where he's just had to make no move. Remember Phillip Island last year made that move, and
Yeah.
Honda, like he's done those moments.
Jerez, I
So,
think it was last year as well.
Yeah,
So that
exactly.
inside curve.
Against
Yeah,
Marquez.
back
so-
on the flip-flop on
Yeah.
the 1-1.
Back to Curtis's point as well for next year. It's such a battle to get to the front with tyre pressures and these aero issues. That's going to cause a big riff at the start of every Grand
course.
Prix. So that's another reason why that battle between those two teammates on the same machinery, same bike, same team is going to be so fascinating next year.
100%.
God,
and
it's
it has to be
so
team
good.
management, managing because it's after
But
all.
they can't. How can they manage those two? Like the two
And that
biggest
goes back
heads.
to Lorenzo and
Yeah,
Dobby.
the two biggest heads in the
it
Grand
goes back
Prix.
to that.
and Rossi and
Rossi Lorenzo. The thing for Marquez, like you said, Dave, it's probably his best shot is next year because time's not on his side either.
Yeah.
And you got hungry kids coming
Yeah.
up, and I'm sure as shit Acosta will be biting at everyone's heels next year.
Yeah,
And,
get
they
him
don't,
on a
and they
com-
don't give it. They're not scared of him. They don't give a fuck about him anymore.
And that's the thing.
That's
Everyone,
changed.
Yeah,
They've
it's
worked
true.
out he's a normal person now.
Yeah.
You know, this crop of
Yeah,
riders
yeah.
coming through isn't worried about the next
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Does it tame them? I don't think so.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah, it's a great question.
It's a thinker.
Going back to, I think if he gets wiped with the floor, which is not going to happen, yes, I think it taints his career to a certain extent, but not if it's close. I think it's close. It's fair game.
Oh, God, it's so exciting. We're a day after the season.
I know,
Like,
but this
we're
is so
already-
The
good.
same thing happened last year.
I know it did.
Yeah, it did.
It did. It's awesome. It's the best sport in the world.
But I picked Marquez for the championship this year.
Yes,
So,
did you? Yeah.
So we're all different.
Where did you put Martin?
I had him third, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, Martin was super impressive.
Nikki D 3604. Ducati deserves to lose a number one plate after they let Martin, Bez, and Bestia leave. Fair
Yeah.
call. We all know
Great
that.
call.
Great call.
Hart_Melbourne again. He's always good if his hot takes. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen were willing to kill each other to win, but smashed everyone. Lando Norris just isn't that.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually listening to the Eddie Jordan and
Oh, DC.
DC.
Cool. Yep,
Great pod.
it is.
And they were saying the exact same thing. And Eddie Jordan, he doesn't
Yeah,
mince his
I saw
words.
that.
And he's like, Lando, what's he complaining about? He goes, he just got smashed by Max in the rain. He goes, he's not a world champion.
Yeah.
And it barreled him for a minute and a half on this video. It's a good listen.
It is. Yeah, I've
And
seen
that's very true, that statement there.
How many
stuffing.
more rounds on the Formula One?
Three in a row. 3 weekends in a row.
Okay.
Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi.
Do you know that the joke about Abu Dhabi?
What is it? You want me to tell me after? or-
Go on.
The
Go on.
was it the people in Qatar don't like the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do.
Oh, my God.
You make that up?
No,
Wouldn't put it
I'm not
past you.
that clever.
Dad jokes.
Yes.
That's hot takes, boys. That's been a
Wow.
big episode.
What a
Yeah.
season,
How
huh?
long have we been rolling for, roughly, Curdy?
Oh,
you
we've
know?
stopped and started, haven't we?
Fuck.
What?
Yeah, big app.
David, thank you for coming
No,
on. It's
thank you
always
very
good seeing
much.
you. Yep.
Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, James.
What were you going to
Thanks,
say,
Curtis.
Daniel? big season.
Massive season.
Massive season.
2024 in the
MotoGP
books.
is done.
Yeah.
Done.
Dusted.
Crazy.
Don't
Yeah.
be too happy
Silly
about it.
season starts.
Yeah, I know.
Testing starts now.
Testing, basically our second half of our pod life now starts
Yeah,
because we'll be
that's
talking about testing and a
Yeah,
lot.
and that's another thing we were talking earlier about those guys who do the commentary, 8 hours or something,
Yeah.
talking when nothing's going on. How they do it, it's just
Yeah, unbelievable, those
you know,
guys.
it's amazing. They must have a team that's just giving them bits and pieces to talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Bit later
incredible.
on.
Those
They'll
commentators
have about
are
10
amazing.
Curtises there.
Yeah. Gertie.
Just quickly, I don't know if we mentioned it last week or not. The Aussie Superbikes. Congrats to Josh Waters, first four-time Australian. Did we mention it?
No, we haven't. We didn't do a
were on
pod
last
last
week.
week.
Yeah, that's right. We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, first four-time Australian Superbike champion.
Yeah,
on
100%.
McMartin Racing. So amazing effort.
Shout out
Came
to
down
Josh
to the wire.
Waters.
And Mike Jones in a similar situation to Pecco.
Yeah.
And he had a 1-2 and then DNF in the last race, unfortunately. So took it down to the wire. And congrats to Josh. It's an amazing season. And JJ Nahles took out the 600 Supersport.
Beautiful.
So fantastic for him. He'll be stepping up to Moto Go Yamaha next year. So it'll be interesting.
Nice.
Smashed the lap record this weekend at Broadford.
Yeah, right.
55.8 or something on an
Jesus.
R1. First time on the R1.
That's
Jesus.
a small track, isn't it? Yeah, tiny.
So,
That's cool. It's exciting stuff. Get around the HBK. We've got around it all year. Keep watching.
yeah, big
They need
move,
something.
big moves actually
Yeah, they need something.
next year. So, should be good.
Yeah, it should be good.
Love it, boys.
Cool.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
guys.
you.
Thanks.
Cheers.